and start things. Let's go. It's time for some hostile therapy. All right, welcome back for another episode of Hostile Therapy. You people from listening to the show on Thursday nights, welcome back.
Welcome back.
Me, Big Red, and Chris
Styles, baby. And the flesh.
Fancy drink from the 90s. For people old enough to remember. I never got to drink none, though.
Cristal.
I'm still drinking on that Red Dog, man.
Red Dog. Nothing but the blacks.
The MD.
MD 4040.
Did you know what that stood for, man? Just ask a quick question. You know what that stood for? What you think that stand for?
I don't know. I just know it was Mad Dog.
You thought it was Mad Dog? I did too. And I figured out it ain't Mad Dog.
Oh, okay. Look, turn me on to something, because
okay, let me look it up and get the real name.
Mm-hmm.
But it's after the guy who made its name, if I'm not mistaken. Hold on, okay. Let me look it up, because I was shocked to hear about it myself. Hold up, because a lot of people thought that was the name for it. It actually stands for
Wild Irish Rose.
Oh yeah, that's another one too. Dang, all right, now I can't stand. Oh, okay, let me look. Here we go. I think I got it. But now they're trying to lock me out of the thing that I was trying to look it up for.
Mm-hmm.
Hold on. I should have looked it up beforehand.
Don't do that.
I just thought about it now. Okay. Stands for Mogan David.
Oh, okay.
Right. It got me too. The guy who produces it, his name is Mogan David. And everybody just kind of assumed it stood for Mad Dog. Me too.
I would tell you one thing it did do. If you had too much of it, you was going to do something. Somebody will make you mad.
Yeah, you would turn to a mad dog.
Yeah, you would turn into a mad dog.
Right. Well, this kind of lines up to what we're going to talk about a little later when we give you the floor. We're going to talk about Jack Daniel's whiskey.
Daniel's whiskey.
Yeah, I'm not a huge consumer of Jack Daniel's whiskey, but I know there's a lot of people out there who are. But there's a little bit of a backstory behind it that a lot of people don't know about that we'll let you talk about when we get to that part of the show.
Yeah, there's a backstory. Yeah, like a step repeater in the background.
Yeah, there's an individual who used to work there that didn't get his roses, or he didn't get enough roses while he was there.
For sure.
Right.
And yeah, we gonna get into that. But it seems that back then, outside of the smarter people who were able to maneuver around it, it's just people always took something that belonged to someone else,
right,
and ran with it, and dare you to say something,
right? Because it was like, what were they going to do? They couldn't really fight back for it.
What you gonna do?
Yeah, we had a story about another guy they were going to talk about in a few minutes, about a guy from Burger King.
Mm.
The guy that retired. And then,
Yeah. Oh man, yo, that's terrible, man. But I'm glad. When stories come out like that, and I hear that, it just goes to show you, man. If you don't work for yourself and not be successful,
hmm
you have to big yourself up for everything that you do. Pat yourself on the back. If
right.
it's no matter if it's small or big, congratulate yourself. Because these companies out here chew you up, spit you out, and keep it moving.
Yeah.
They get somebody else to fill that spot soon. So
Yeah, they don't have to do anything for you. I mean, they're only out for themselves. I mean, but that's the American way. So it's like,
capitalism,
all right. It's like, what can we do?
greedyism.
Let's see. Let's see. What's the first thing we got on the docket today? First story. Oh, okay. First story is that actually the BK ain't loyal story. It's about the guy we were just talking about.
Hmm.
Let's pull. I
Segue into
just
segue.
all right. Perfect segue. Now, if I can pull it up, I just had it saved in my docket. Now I can't even find it now. Podcast stories. Where are you at? Where are you at? I just was looking at you. Now I can't even find you. Okay, there we go. Okay, so yeah, there was a Burger King employee who was celebrating 27 years on the job. That is a miracle amongst itself. 27 years at Burger King. He didn't own it though. Uh, he says he felt let down by he got a mediocre goodie bag from the company. A goodie bag.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's
Right.
something we do at a gift party or something.
Right.
A
You know,
party
one
we
of
get.
those
Yeah,
what you call that? The Secret Santa thing. You know, Secret Santa, you spent maybe $2 on a gift
a
for the
gag
person.
gift.
Right.
Yeah,
Went
the
to Dollar
gag
Tree and got
gift.
him like some sort of gag gift. The cheapest of things you can get from Spencer's. Uh Kevin Ford, 54-year-old guy, worked as a cook cashier. See, he wasn't even a manager. He
I
wasn't
know.
even
After
Louis
all them
Anderson.
years,
Yeah. He wasn't even Louis Anderson from Coming to America. He didn't even move past the fries.
he didn't move past the fries. Yo,
Mm,
that's terrible.
27 years. Now he's 54 years old and he's
27
getting ready
years.
to. Mhm. He said he worked there at
Wow.
the BK in the Las Vegas airport. Let's see, he was talking about how his employer chose to mark his anniversary. Let's see, and the video shows him. We don't got the video up here now, but while the video shows him showing off a bag of contents, Kevin doesn't want anyone thinking he's ungrateful. He just found the reward a little lackluster.
For sure.
I'm trying. I'm trying to see what he was showing like he got a movie ticket, like a mug or something like that. Wish I could find the video up here. I had the video up here earlier. But he 27 years, Kevin Ford. I'm gonna see if I can pull up that video. But what do you think about this situation, man? To
Okay.
work there for 27 years and not even get past cashier?
And sometimes it may have been of choice. Now, I would like to sit down and talk to him and ask him why, or was it a situation where the manager been there almost as long as he has, or he just didn't want the position?
Right.
Because I've been in that situation where there were certain jobs that I've had in the past, and although I could do it, I just didn't want the aggravation of
Right.
dealing with people and look, it's like I just want to do my job and get out of here and go home. But
Mm-hmm.
you know, it is amazing though. Yeah, I don't know, and that's a terrible situation because you can look at it another way too. Is that um, he might have not had the manager look or
What
feel.
does that what does that look like?
Yeah, I don't know what that looks like, but there was a time in the past where I worked for a firm, and I was the day manager with a day and night manager for the two different shifts. And out of town council had came in, and I talked to these people on the phone and everything, waiting for them to get here. When they got here, as a group of like maybe six guys and two women, and they came down to the mail center. and we were, I was going to do some scanning and do some different stuff for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they came in, I said, "Good morning." I said, "Good morning. How can I help you?" They was like, I said, "We're looking for the manager." I said, "I am," and their faces turned red. You know what I'm saying? Big red. Their faces turned red, bro. So I started over.
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Good morning. My name is. I'm the manager of this department. Blah 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 blah. How can I help you?" And then from there, they just looked totally past me, dog, when they came in. So, so what does that look like?
Right.
Obviously, where they're from. And matter of fact, they were up from like somewhere like Connecticut or Maine or something like that. So I already know how they treat their employees up there, bro. They might not have none of us in there.
What do you think? What did they want? What were they complaining about?
It wasn't that they were complaining about anything. It's just that I talked to these people on the phone before they got there. Let them know, come on down. I'm right here to meet you. I'll be down here to meet you when you get here. So they weren't expecting to see my face, put it that way. They were probably expecting to see a Caucasian person
Mm-hmm.
or someone else, but they weren't expecting to see a black man who was a black man who was a manager. So I was hot, but I made sure and I proved to them. I was like, you know what? I'm going to show them something today. And I blew them away for the whole duration that they was there. Blew them away. With customer service, knocking out everything that they asked me to do. And then they was like, oh, we need somebody like you. We'll pay you more. That type of bro. But why did they
Why did you have to go that far?
Yeah, they had to go that far to even get any type of recognition. But damn, I said, this man he got some cookies and some cakes.
I don't think you got that much.
Yeah, it's funny though. I can't wait till you play it though. I was like, wow.
Yeah, I just found it. Let me put it up here real quick. If this thing don't go crazy on me.
But again, it was just another one of those lessons that it's a big pill. I had to swallow it. I had to swallow the pill. Got through it. And got praises after the fact.
Okay, I just about got it. All right, if I could paste it up here. Okay, I'm about to play it.
Play it. Play it.
Podcast stories. All right, here we go.
Here it is, family. Boom.
A movie ticket. Thank you very much. And I also got a bag of Reese's. This is very nice. From Starbucks. Thank you guys. And it's like a lanyard.
Lanyard.
2 pins.
Ooh, 2 pins. Ooh, chains.
Oh, they gold?
And
platinum?
2 lifesavers.
Lifesavers.
So it's good to show their appreciation for loyalty and for all you've done for the company. This is my reward for working for 27 years. Thank you guys.
Now he says he wasn't mad about that. I call BS on that. Come on now, 27 years and you got a couple pins and a couple lifesavers. But you're going to have good smelling breath on the way outside of Burger King from all the horrible food you've been cooking for 27 years? You leaving there?
They sent somebody to the dollar store to get some of that stuff.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
They said a Starbucks cup.
Went
a Reese's patch. The grocery store stuff, man. Wow. I think all that might have totaled $20.
No, I think you're going too high. I think you can cut that in half. If they go into Dollar Tree, I know Dollar Tree went up by like 25 cents lately. But yeah, I think you can cut that in half, man. 2 pens, 2 lifesavers. I think he had a cup in there or something like that.
And a cup.
Not even with his name.
Starbucks.
He didn't even have his name engraved on the cup. Probably not even on the pens. I'm sure not. But yeah.
And look, I know it ain't had Burger King on them.
No, probably not. Probably had Dollar Tree written on it or Dollar General. You know what? It was probably one of their pens. It was probably one of the extra pens of the managers that had their name on it with they're saying they're the manager of Burger King, and it was an extra one. He just gave it to him. Post that 27 years for that.
He got 50 million of those sitting around.
Yeah, at least they could have done was give him a sandwich. They could at least gave him the Burger King hat.
Yeah,
Everyone knows the Burger King hat.
Solid gold.
All right.
Gold plated. Something.
Maybe a coupon to McDonald's instead. The competition.
He said, well, which one you like better?
You know what's so crazy? Like, look at what effort they put into. Remember last week we talked about the Pride Burger?
Yeah.
And they put somewhat effort into making the same-sided buns.
You know what I mean?
But they still thought hard about that, even though it was piss poor. But still, more than what this guy got, 27 years?
Bro, that's a long time to be. Matter of fact, there's not a lot of people who work or stay at a job, let alone a couple of months or 2 to 3 years. I remember years ago when my parents were working, not that something happened with the company, people stayed with that company until their legs fell off, until it was time for retirement or something, people bouncing around from one field to the next. It was hard to hold a job in some of these places, but 27 years at Burger King. I wonder how many raises he got in that time. I needed to ask him that.
He probably got a raise every time the minimum wage went up. He started off when it was probably $3.15, and every time the federal minimum wage went up, that's when he got a raise.
Damn, and that's not often.
Right. To 27 years, let's see, it's 20. So he's been there, since the 90s.
He been there, man, that's like my youngest daughter age.
He's been there since 1995.
Wow. And yeah, she was born in 94. Wow. He's been there as long as my daughter been alive.
I was in high school then.
Yeah, I graduated in 89. Graduated in 89. Ooh.
Just think of the progression that you've been through since that time and where he's gotten to within 27 years. That's almost 3 decades.
Almost 3 decades of working. And like I say, any man that's able to work and earn his keep, I'm proud of him. I just don't know. I don't even know if he even ever got to. And did he get $15 an hour?
I hope so, man. He should have been the manager. He should have been owning the McDonald's by then.
He should have been owning one for 27 years, right?
Yeah. He lucky to still be alive working 27 years at Burger King, all that hypertension. That's probably actually what they gave him on the way out. High blood pressure. And a low life expectancy.
Wow. I wonder how much food he took home.
They probably charged him for that.
For his family.
Except for the last day. They were like, yeah, you can go ahead and take you a small fry.
Look, hold up, and a complimentary cup of water. On your way out.
Like, wait a minute. No. You got to pay for that too. Ain't no free rides here. All right.
It's normally a quarter. We'll charge you 10 cents today. Damn
shame. All right. Let's move move on from that one. All right, we're gonna go to the Leave It or Medicated segment of the show. Okay, so here we go.
Or medicated.
Yeah, remember a couple weeks ago where we talked? Well, hold on, let me add Alexa. She just popped up here right quick. All right, there you go, Alexa. She's here just in time for the new story. Alexa, welcome to the show. Remember, got here just in time. Remember, probably a couple weeks, 3 weeks ago, the DL Hughley Monique debacle that was going on.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, where it appears that Monique has saw the error of her ways. At least maybe one side of it. I want you to listen to the video carefully, and maybe I heard something different, but it seems she's learned from the error of her ways and said she has apologized for what it sounds like to DL's family. I'm not sure she apologized to DL Hughley, but it sounds like she apologized to the family at least. Let's see. Let me pop the video up here right quick.
Pop goes my mind.
And I like to consider myself a woman of honor. So I've got to do something right now publicly that I did publicly. And when I something up, I've got to fix it up. So I'm going to take care of that right now. Okay. To DL Hughley's family, I want to publicly apologize if I hurt anyone's feelings.
She still put it on him.
You're stupid, Chris. Oh shit.
Okay.
You know, she still tooted on him though.
Yeah, I think the video kind of confirmed it for me. She didn't really apologize to DL, but she apologized to the family. And I mean, hey, that's cool.
That's still good. Yeah, because
Yeah.
she letting it know, like, I'm zeroing in on you.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's who your beef was with. And sort of, I still think it was with the promoters, but
And she ain't said nothing about the promoter. What's up with that?
I still don't understand with that. But okay. Well, with that being said, do you agree with what Monique did, apologizing to the family and not DL? Because that's what I feel like I heard. Chris, I'll let you go first on that. Do you want to leave it as is, the apology, or do you think she should apologize more to DL and the family? What do you want to do? Leave it or medicate?
I'm going to leave it.
Okay, tell us why.
All right, so the only reason why I'm going to leave it is because once she learned of the true story behind his daughter's trauma and things of that nature, and some of the awful shit she said about his about DL Hughley's wife, man, I'm glad that she apologized. But you know, and she did it publicly, which is a hard thing to do. Let alone people don't want to apologize and club behind closed doors. Period. So whether she meant it or not, that's on her. But I'm glad that she did set an example and make an attempt or alleged apology.
Okay. All right, Alexa, what do you want to do? You want to leave it as is, or you want to medicate it?
Legs out.
I'm gonna definitely leave it.
She's gonna leave it. Tell us why.
Yeah. Well, because she put it back where it was supposed to be in the first place. This is comedian against comedian. You know, honestly, if the family ever got offended or got into it, she should have immediately addressed it. So honestly, she's a little bit late, but still, you know, better late than never.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that she cleared it up, that this is an industry level dispute. And yeah, not to offend the family in any way, because they got to duke that out on their own time.
For sure.
All right. All right. So I am going to, y'all crazy. I'm going to medicate. Oh, I'm happy that Monique did apologize for that, because that was the worst offended party, was the daughter of DL Hughley, followed by the wife. I still think her beef should have been with the promoter. The promoter, he's got away scot-free. I don't know why he's not the biggest culprit of this whole beef between both of them. He should have his behind drug out back and beaten with a stick. I don't know why in the world no one has come to him, including DL Hughley. Not just Monique, including DL Hughley. Those are the two that should be going towards him, not to DL Hughley. But that's just...
I can tell you why. Because DL Hughley was talking to the promoter more than Monique. That's what's going to come out in the wash. Just wait. That's what's going to come out in the wash.
Even that's true.
Watch. Just give it a couple days, couple weeks. Hell, maybe even a couple months.
Even if that's true, Alexa, just nothing. The promoter don't get nothing, though.
No, but the thing is, if DL was on the line with him, he got to kind of hold him down a little bit. Otherwise, it's like, dang.
Okay.
You know, I scratch your back, you scratch mine. See, I know a little about this promoter game. You know, I got a little background in it. So I'm just saying, I know how sometimes they try to play the fence.
Promoter gang.
At the last minute, they try to go with they going, really bring the dollars in, or who gonna have their back in the long run. And like you said, Monique hadn't did a lot of stuff. So you're looking at who gonna scratch my back later on.
Yeah, I get that. I mean, I get that. You gotta get the person who's gonna draw the more butts in the seat and bring in the more dollars. But did he at least run that by Monique and like, hey, DL's coming to the scene. He's more famous. He's bringing in more dollars. I'm going to go with him. Or did he just sit in the back and like just let it happen? And then Monique found out the night of the show. Yeah, that's what I'm wondering.
He let it happen.
You think that's what happened?
Now,
yeah,
I think kind of sort of, and then, even for myself, I know I used to manage groups, and if you even have a mini tour, and you got 6 groups, you got somebody we got one party who's late, but somebody else got to fill in their space. You know what I'm saying? So a lineup sometimes can kind of get shifted. Things might not go the way somebody could have a wardrobe malfunction or something like that, equipment, something going wrong, but the show still got to go on. And I just think that he pulled rank or decided that he was going to do something irregardless of what was said. But he should be the one, he or she, whoever it is, should be the one to come out publicly and say, you know what? Had I stepped up and said this to either one of them, this would have never happened. I'm taking that on the chin today. You know what I mean? I did this, and I'm sorry.
Never going to do that though. I mean, because if you think about it, they're getting a percentage of the whole show. These actual acts are getting the bulk of the income. So a promoter is like, look, I'm gonna get it how I get it. And I hate to say it, it's not right, but that's how it goes. Now the only thing that's shiesty in music is the entertainment, like comedy and entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, the only thing that's more shiesty than that comedy entertainment realm is the music realm. And I got background in the music realm. So I'm telling you right now, right up under that, all the comedy promoters, all the people that do these little, parties and the sign parties, this party, Libra party, Virgo parties, like that's right up under music. And trust me, they're just as shiesty.
Well, let's talk about boxing too.
Oh
MMA. Yeah.
I don't know nothing about that, but I know about about the music and the comedy, like they like cousins.
Yeah. They all family.
Like promoters with comedy, as when I was on the record label, like we worked with a lot of people who did comedy shows. And I know for a fact they pull some stuff at the last minute sometimes.
I think boxing might be worse.
I have seen some. Yeah.
I think boxing might be worse because they're governed by like either 2 or 3 bodies that run, like the WBA, WBC. They create all the rules. And I think acting, there's many different agencies for acting. There's many different agencies for music, many different labels, but there's only like several.
Even modeling.
Right, even modeling.
Yeah, for sure.
And also for boxing, you're putting your life on the line, literally.
Every time.
Yeah.
And you may be cheated out and end up broke, and I don't want to say dumb at the end of your career, but
Brain damage.
punch drunk. Yeah. Have you seen Evander Holyfield lately?
I don't want to.
Riddick Bowe.
Yeah.
Riddick Bowe can barely mumble out a word.
Yeah, they got that the brain injuries.
Well,
Yeah.
same thing with football.
Football too.
Football the same.
Football
Yeah.
too.
I know
Man,
football players that right now they're not doing good. And
Junior Seau. I love Junior Seau.
Yeah.
Oh
player.
my gosh! Don't even say that name right now because never mind.
Seau.
Man, I tell you one even worse, Chris. Wrestling.
Yeah.
Mm.
They have a lot
They
of
die early all the time. Even the referees. There are a couple referees just died the other day at like 50, and they don't even get. Well, they do get in the ring, but they don't even fight or anything. A lot of them die
it's
early.
Stress.
Stress, the head injuries. And
Yeah.
just like with football, like man, it might not do nothing to you right then, but when I tell you it hits you later on, it hits you later on.
And I'm living proof.
Well,
my ankle and my knee right now, Lord.
Well, I'm glad it's your ankle and your knee and not your head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's I have to eat right the majority of the time for not to feel bad. If I go to the left or to the right,
you'll be messed up. That's it.
You remember that song? They're taking forcing these tears and pain, pain. Oh.
No, I know. Listen. Not doing the right stuff, not getting
the right career, Chris.
It gets on you because I can tell you right now, like I ain't even gonna prove it to y'all, but I could prove it right now. To this day, my neck still cracks loud as hell. You know why?
Mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to do backflips so bad, I didn't want to wait for my spotter. Back when I was in gymnastics.
Boom, boom.
Man, don't tell me you did it on your neck.
I messed my neck up permanently. Permanently, because I didn't properly learn how to do back handsprings.
You didn't tuck your neck in or something when you came in?
What I didn't do is since we get technical, I didn't spring off my hand quick enough.
Mm.
So I was just like right in the front yard and was like trying to beat one of my neighbors because we both couldn't do back handsprings. So I was like, I want to do it first. So instead of waiting for a spotter for weeks, I was just practicing doing it the wrong way. And even one of my other neighbors was like, "You doing it the wrong way?" Because she was in gymnastics before. So she was like, "You doing it the wrong way?" I'm like, to this day, you know what? I'm gonna prove it. I can prove it right now. Listen. You heard that?
I heard that.
Okay, so to this day, my neck yeah, cock. You heard that?
You need to go to Nelson and Nelson
for my spotter. And matter of fact, I could have had a career in gymnastics, but because my neck was really bad for a while. So, it is what it is.
Bless the child can hold his own.
Your neck sound like that bubble wrap they put in the packages before they send them off.
But you know what?
You sound like a drive-by.
I can still do some stuff though, so I'm thankful I stuck with it.
We ain't getting into all that now. Come on, this is a kid show.
Oh, whatever. I'm just talking about sports. See, here you go. I'm just saying, like, I'm glad
you are.
I'm glad that I went through it because it's like I know that it's not that hard. It don't have to be that hard. You don't have to be that hard.
Okay.
Like I can spot somebody now. You see what I'm saying? I can spot a kid that wants to do it the right way. I'm giving back.
Giving back to the kids. Lex, I love the kids.
I love the kids. Lex love the kids.
Love the kids.
Speaking of, good transition right there. This one kind of saddens me, but it may make y'all happy depending on what you think about it.
Leave it.
Or medicated.
Martin. Remember the show from the 90s? Martin Lord?
Martin
Marty Meyer.
You talk about the 90s, you have to mention Martin. Not just from the TV show, from Def Comedy Jam when he used to host. Best host to me. of all time for Def Comedy Jam. One of the better comedians of the 90s of all, maybe even all time. I don't know if he's in your top 10 or 5 or what.
Mm-hmm.
But recently, they just had a reunion. I think it's on Amazon. Might be BET, I could be wrong. But they had a reunion, of course, sans Tommy, because he passed away a few years ago. And Gina, Tisha Campbell, recently spoke about it. Let me pull up the video for that.
Gina.
It was amazing, like just being with everybody. We were finishing each other's sentences. We were joking. We were laughing. It was like being on set again.
I know it was really fun to see you guys together, too, because you could
Yeah.
tell there's love there. When the show ended, there was tension between you and Martin. You had filed a lawsuit against him, and he said it wasn't true. How were you able to get back on track with him? Because clearly you guys have worked it out.
We worked really hard to reconnect,
You
to
did.
forgive, and this reunion is about a celebration of everything that we did, everything that we accomplished, and our growth as human beings. And so we concentrated mostly on that.
But I look at your life, though, and your career, teacher, because you have been through it. You have. You've been through it. You had a high publicized divorce.
Yes.
Your career didn't go the way you wanted it to. And now you're sitting here resplendent in orange. What did you learn about yourself, and how are you feeling these days? Because you look like a gazillion bucks.
I am the happiest I have ever been in my life.
Why? I'm
The
glad to
happiest
hear
I've been.
that.
You know what? It was a combination of the newfound freedom in my life and COVID isolation. I really had to sit with myself and my children.
Okay, that's enough of that.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So to leave it or medicated is, are you happy that they finally reconciled their differences and did this reunion, brought everybody, Cole, Martin, of course, Gina, Tashina Arnold. I know I'm calling them all pretty much by the TV show names, but Pam. Are you happy
She fine.
that they finally...
Thickums.
Alexa, I'll let you go first. Are you happy they reconciled? Leave it, or you got an issue about how they reconciled?
Before I start, is this the 30-second one or is this the 1 minute one?
It's a 30-second one.
Okay. All right. So, all right, go ahead and start. Let me make this quick.
Okay.
I am going to leave it.
Okay.
I grew up on this show. I love this show. Me and all my siblings watched it. We loved it. Of course, because when you do something bigger than yourself, and to me, this show is way bigger than any of them. You got to put yourself aside. You got to humble yourself and realize that you have created this entity. All these cast members pretty much created a child, and you got to put the child first. So the Martin show, in my eyes, is the child. I'm glad they put everything aside.
All right. Chris.
Yeah.
Leave it or medicate it?
Wow. I'm going to leave it.
Tell us why.
Because whether it's family, whether it's personal friends, or if you have an intimate relationship or whatever that may be, I've been a part of many business groups and different things of that nature. And just because we don't share or agree on certain ideas, and like Lexa said, when you have a baby in front of you, you're trying to make money. You're an actor, you're a model, you're whatever. I learned to put my stuff aside and was able to do my job. We could talk about whatever later, but I'm glad that they were able to work through their issues, because it's very uncomfortable. It's not right to harbor and hold this, because it can break you down from the inside out. And that's just something else, a newfound freedom, like she said, that she had, that is able to get that off your shoulder. Like, okay, we ain't got to carry this no more. I don't want to feel this way. I feel uncomfortable around the person or individual. So I'm glad they did it. How you feel about it, Red?
Okay, let me tell you how I feel about it. I'm going to medicate it.
Okay.
She filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against this man. You just going to reconcile that? I don't remember hearing her say that, oh, well, he didn't do it. Martin has been saying he's been innocent all these years. What has it been, 30 years? You accused him of sexual assault harassment, and you're gonna go back to the person you accused of doing that. And plus, season 5 was one of the worst seasons of Martin. You ruined it. It kept having these episodes where they had to pretend Gina was in some other state or was doing something else, and Martin and Gina were never together again like they were during the first 4 seasons. No, I'm pissed because Martin could have still been going at least after the 5th season. It could have been going maybe 3 more seasons after that. So we missed out on some great episodes. They had to stop the show early because Gina didn't like what was going on with Martin, whatever that was, but she still filed a sexual harassment lawsuit against him. What happened to that? Who goes back to the person who sexually assaults them? I know it happens, but come on. You made us lose at least 3 more good seasons of Martin. That's what I'm mad about. And and I don't hear no time of her saying that, oh, no, he didn't do it. Martin has said, no, I haven't done it. Whatever became of that? Well, I wonder what the conversation was like. Okay, we're just going to let bygones be bygones. I'm going to say I didn't do it. You said I did it. We just going to forgive everything. Forget that. I want 3 more good seasons of Martin. Forget that. I'm mad. I got the whole box set in the back of my room right now. That's why I'm mad about that. So no, there's no reconciling.
I'm mad too, but the honest goodness truth is, think about it like this. She never said she lied. And to be honest with you, when I looked at the old footage of, everybody who was a real Martin fan, of course, looked that up and looked at everybody's side of it, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna keep it real with you. Like, if I think a chick is exaggerating or lying, I will say it, okay? I don't think she lied. I think he did exactly what she said. And what happened was, this is probably what happened.
Okay.
She was probably with somebody at the time.
She was.
Who
Martin,
was like
the other Martin, Dwayne Martin.
Oh yeah, his last name was Martin.
Yeah, for sure. The other Martin.
So my thing is, she was with somebody who was like, no, you're gonna start bringing this shit, because he even admitted he had a little issue at that time. So I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was drinks, pills, what, Hollywood is Hollywood. So long story short, he was putting his tongue in her mouth. He was going too far sometimes. And it was probably the new boyfriend or new husband, whoever, that was like, you gonna address it, you gonna put your foot down, So that's probably what made her buck up at the time, because it's like, if you don't mind it, like, just think about it. If you're a woman and you come home from work and you like, how was work, honey? Oh, I'm just getting irritated because every time we have a kissing scene, he's supposed to go like this, but he keeps putting his tongue down my mouth, Now, I'm going to tell you right now, and don't y'all try to damn find it. I was in a little dumb film, and I can tell you right now that I can tell you right now that guys will take advantage of that situation. They'll take advantage of it. You're supposed to pretend, but you're getting extra handsy.
Yeah, Philly.
You're getting extra, but you're trained to do it a different way.
What's the name of it? Go ahead. Right now.
Anyways, you're trained to do it a different way. So I'm saying, I know that people do that. So that's why I believe her. I think he probably was putting his tongue in her mouth sometimes.
Well,
maybe squeezing a little harder, or just little things
trying to entice
like
that thing.
But as an actor, you're trained not to do that. You're trained not to do that. You're trained to make it look like it without doing it. Because you have very happily married couples and a lot of people who have been together for years, and their spouse shouldn't have to go through that because you're an actor or an actress.
Well, here's a story as I've heard it, and then I'm not saying this is true. This is allegedly that they did at one point like each other, and at some point, I guess they went their separate ways.
That they were dating.
He still liked her, but she wanted to go elsewhere, and then that's when she started dating Dwayne Martin, and he was still like. That's what I've heard, and maybe to your point, how can you cut that off? And you're still on the show playing husband and wife or boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever they were at the time on the show. How can you just kind of turn that off? And maybe it was hard for him to turn it off. I don't know. I'm saying allegedly. I don't know if that's what happened, but he maintains his innocence. I think they settled out of court or whatever, but still, let's say all that is true.
He was in character 24/7.
Right. But let's
That's
say
her fault.
that's true. Let's say that's true. Everything you said, Alexa. I wouldn't go back to the person that did that to me if that is actually true.
Well, this is a reunion thing. And
I understand.
And she's not with that guy anymore.
Ew, the sexual harassment.
She probably would have let it go. I'm gonna keep it real. Like if I'm having a good time at a club, right?
Yeah.
And I'm having a really good time at a club, and somebody come and say, "Hey Toots," even though this is so generic a movie, somebody says, "Hey Toots," and grab my ass. I'm not gonna ruin the whole night, okay? Because I'm there to have a good time.
Were you from the 1950s, Toots?
Well, that's what I'm.
No, but
but you know what I'm saying? She's not tripping. She's not tripping after that. So that's what I'm saying. Like right now, okay, we were young, we were younger. Maybe they did have a little flirtation going on. Maybe they did have a little situationship, even though it wasn't a relationship. Yeah. All I'm saying is it was obviously something at some point in time where he had the green light, she had the green light. Mm. At some point, the green light turned into a yellow light, and then it turned to a red light. So maybe he didn't get the memo. But what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, they're old enough to see, look at Martin. You can still turn the TV on right now at 6, 7 a.m. and see reruns. There's a lot of shows.
There's a lot of shows. I watch them all the time.
The ET short all day.
There's a lot of shows that don't do that. So maybe now they're realizing, wow, we did something great. This is like the mama and the daddy who come together after 15 years and go to the graduation and be good.
Because what if that happened to one of Bill Cosby's alleged victims and like, you know what, that was such a long time ago. We did a good job on that show back in the 80s though, right? Let's reconcile.
Victims are not on the show though as a normal character.
But I'm saying, what would that happen? No, they were. There are a couple people who said they were on the show, maybe as extras or whatever, and they sued them later on. But I can't see them ever like, well, 30 years, that was 30 years ago. Let's reconcile because we did a great episode in 1986. I can't see that happening.
You can't put an extra on the same level as Martin and Gina.
That's worse. It's still, she's still a human being, a woman.
I know, but I'm saying,
but I feel this though.
For a reunion.
I feel like even outside of the reunion aspect, it was still like,
it froze up a little bit.
Well, the story that was similar to yours, Rick.
Chris, you're freezing up a little bit.
You said I'm freezing?
Yeah, just a little bit.
All right, hold on.
I think you're fine now.
Yo, Alicia Keys was an extra on Cosby.
Oh yeah, I saw that. The little kid. She like a little boy then.
So, I look at it like this. Sometimes, and men and women, I've been I brought charges against people before because they just would not stop. They wouldn't leave me alone.
Damn.
We had a situation. There was one aspect where it was like we were professionals. I didn't like this person. I was cordial to them. I respected them, but I never did anything more than that. But you got people sneaking up on you. I'm going in the file cabinet room and I'm thinking I'm in there by myself, and next thing I know, somebody come up behind you and just put their arms around you, and you like,
wait. start from the file cabinet. Go back to the file cabinet.
How do you make this man relive his trauma?
Like those credentials where the rolling files, and you could go down each file. I don't know if you ever been in the file room like that before.
I got a rolling file thing right now. I got to put it together.
No, not that. I'm talking about like big law firms, them big, tall
credentials. Them big ones.
That they roll back and forth. They come back and forth.
Hiding behind that, waiting to pounce.
So when I didn't know that she was even watching that close to know that I even went in there.
Got to be careful.
So I went in about it. I mean, it was stuff like that. Like, you doing too much. Like, I don't look.
Hide your husbands.
I get it.
Hide your husbands.
Stop. So, like, my thing is sometimes even when you have, you might like somebody, you might have an interest, you might be dating more than one person, and sometimes somebody put that pressure on you, and you be like, damn, I really like this one better, so I'm gonna roll over here this side. But sometimes, man, that's a hurtful place to be, and you're gonna do and try everything you can to try to sway that person back to you. And sometimes you come off a little bit too hard, or you might be putting on too much,
breaking up a little bit.
Yeah, and so I think in that aspect, he might have pushed her away to some degree, maybe with coming on too strong, which really messed up everything. So she jumped in another man's arms, got married and all that kind of stuff like that. She's not with him now, but
Martin.
It's I mean, that's why on a professional level, if we're gonna be professionals, you need to keep it professional. I've seen it happen in music groups, poetry groups, managing, and they go back and forth with each other. We doing this on the third, and feelings get in, and they not boyfriend and girlfriend. We go on another little small tour. We meet somebody, they mad. Damn, we smashed last night, but now you mad today because because I'm talking to somebody else today. So it's a lot of stuff that can happen on set and off set, and I think it probably went a little bit too far in his pursuit, which got him in trouble. You feel that really you didn't do.
Go ahead, because you know what? Something just popped in my head.
Uh-oh.
The show is called Martin, right?
I want to hear what you're saying.
The show is called Martin, right?
Right.
What happened was in the beginning, the flirtation ship was on the equal level, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what is the show called?
Martin.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. I'm in charge.
So when time goes by, the show is called what?
Still called Martin.
Okay. So when you got all of this after you, because you know how females are, I'm keeping it real as even a female. I'm just saying groupies and everything else. Mm-hmm. You got all this coming at you. And yeah, you might be his female counterpart on the show. And you are talented. And you're cute. I mean, even back in the day when it started, you're cute. But groupies is groupies.
Mm-hmm.
You can be the finest woman. Let's just keep it real. Halle Berry, Beyonce, everybody you can think of, you want to think is fine, got cheated on, okay? So you can be the finest woman and still get cheated on. You know why? Because they throwing it at you 24/7. And when you are the head man in charge, that's what they're going to do. Mm-hmm. So what happened is the show is called Martin. That's what happened. She probably thought she was going to be locking that position down, because they flirting with each other. They might have even done something with it.
I'm sure she gave a taste.
That's what I'm saying. We don't know what the hell they done did at the beginning of the show. So,
I know it.
They were going to call it Martin and Gina eventually.
Maybe she just thought he was going to lock it down like, baby, this is our show. No, he's going to enjoy the fruits of his labor, and he's going to enjoy his groupies, especially at that age. You're a young man. He ain't no 45. He ain't no damn Samuel L. Jackson.
But by the time he realized he made that mistake,
he gonna enjoy himself. Exactly. So
now he made that mistake. She was like, I'm out. I'm not doing this with you anymore.
She realized
about me. You want to rock with me? Goodbye. And now he's like,
no, because what happens is when you get to that king level like that, when your show is so good, now you're looking at like you got 1,001 groupies, and then you got this, she's your counterpart. But then again, you're not going to shut off all that you got right here. This is you got a
counterpart.
Exactly.
That's
it. She like, you know what? I got some little groupies too. So she's just like, I'm going to let you have your groupies and I'm going to have my groupies. And I'm telling you this from a fact because, like I said, coming from the music industry, I've seen it happen so many times. I'm not even going to say no names. I could name drop if I wanted to. And I mean, you would know the names. But I'm saying I've seen people coming up and
get sued.
They click together when they're coming up. Mm-hmm. But as soon as somebody get a little bit, wow, like, you know what I mean? It's like a back and forth. The guy might be hot for a year or two, then the girl is hot. Then the guy is hot, then the girl is hot. And then it's like, that shit never happens. It never comes together. So I think that's what happened with Gina and Martin. And I think that now that they're both single, probably, I don't know if is Martin single? I don't know.
I think he is.
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. After all this shit because I mean, their kids are pretty much grown now.
Grown.
You know, so after everything settles down, they're like, hey, in the midst of all this bullshit, we created one of the best sitcoms. You know, that's the graduation. That's the
But then, so they have enough respect for each other to come back and have that conversation to say, look,
forget that. Respect, man. No, you put that kind of accusation, that accusation don't leave a guy.
No, but what if the accusation was real? Respect. How you know if she just not, how you know she's not trying to prove it?
It might be real, but that's the thing. If you both disagree on it, I'm not coming back to you and being friends with you like that. Martin still says he's innocent. Martin still says he's innocent.
Well, look,
if I was in her position,
Gina might be the victim.
And no, if I was in her position and the man just tongue kissed me, I could forgive him after all this time.
But you filed a whole lawsuit, though. You didn't just say you tongue kissed me and it went away.
It could have been the man in her ear, but the thing is, he did it.
And you ruined the show. You ruined a classic show. That's the biggest thing. Forget the lawsuit. You ruined the show.
The two things is he actually did it, and she actually forgave him.
I'm not forgiving him. I'm saying what I'm doing. I ain't forgiving nobody. You put that kind of accusation on me, that doesn't go away because there's still people thinking that he did it. Whether he did it or not, I don't know. But that's a stain on you that don't go away. The same way where people probably hate Gina for making that accusation. If they don't think it's true, that's a stain that's not going to leave her. It's bad either way. But I don't like it either way. But I'm saying from the perspective of Martin, if I was Martin, I ain't until you say, okay,
just being a bigger person right now in his life.
They're family now.
I don't give a damn shit. And family can make an accusation against me. I ain't forgiving them for that unless they say, oh, okay, my bad, I was wrong.
The accusation is real though. If the accusation is
real, I'm saying if it's real,
just let her forgive him.
Well, he's got it. Well, if it's real,
it's not like he raped her.
Okay, if it's real, then from Gina's point of view, you need to admit that you did it. You ain't just gonna come in and say, "Oh, you didn't do it," and then we just
trying to make him do that. She just didn't let it go.
It ain't like they stole like each other's big piece of chicken. A sexual harassment. That's the next step to rape.
Maybe she wants to let it go.
See,
she can let it go, but I ain't doing it. That's what I'm saying. She can do it.
I get you.
I just ain't me.
Glad they was able to go ahead and have, but my thing is, we have to. I'm not even looking at it from either one of the sides. I just know that. I just know how I felt when I was going through my two situations, and the person would not leave me alone. They would not stop calling or texting or leaving me, this stuff that it's over. Like I didn't say chill.
You're breaking up, Chris. Your voice breaking up. Signal still breaking up.
Okay, so basically, I just said stop.
You good?
You know what I'm saying? Leave me alone. Respect that. But they kept going until it got to the point where I had to go talk to somebody. I wasn't even going to bring charges against the person, but they was like, we can't have this may have happened. They might have done it to somebody else that we don't know about because they didn't come forth. But this has to stop today. And so
she was just coming at you like boom, 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 like every day.
Every day, as much and often as you could.
Sorry.
No, I mean,
sorry. I'm a visual person. So I'm
Chris,
like, I'm visualizing the whole office situation with the big file cabinets with her waiting behind it. Like, I'm just visualizing like her waiting for you to come in, like
Chris, you can't go to work with hoochie daddy shorts and expect not to get jumped on like that, man. Come on. You know better.
You was wearing hoochie daddy shorts?
No,
looking for stuff in the file and bending over, getting the file out. Ooh,
I was wearing.
Hey, girl, what you doing behind me?
Yeah, like, chill. Yeah, that was crazy.
Buck. Oh my God, that's crazy.
So, yeah. I mean, I had to bring up charges. So they actually helped her by sending her to another office because I didn't want her to get fired because she was married.
You got sent to another office?
No, so they gave her the option to work in another office and get out of here. But if you don't want to do that, sign up.
Peace.
Damn.
Peace. Yeah.
Now, see, that's kind of messed up because, look, I'm going to keep it real. I done sexually harassed a lot of people in my day. And I'm going to say that, you know, when you're single and you're young, you do that. But it's like you got to grow out of it.
But not the way she was. Matter of fact, I was younger. She was older.
Mm.
Oh, so she came to you like, cougar.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Now, I understand that. If somebody come after my son, yeah, I got you, bitch.
Yeah.
I got you.
But I mean, I just looked at it from how I felt, and somebody would not leave you alone or stop doing what you asked them not to do.
Mm.
And it just got to the point where it was too, like, either I'm great, knock her out, or
no, knock her out.
Was it that aggressive?
Damn.
Yo.
I mean, you act like she was like, I mean, I'm not trying to get too graphic because we're on a show, but I'm like, it's not like she like jumped on you and tried to like pull your shit down.
One time I was working late and I was at a copier, right?
Mm-hmm.
She comes in this little, you know how sometimes they got copy rooms and you might come out of your office down the hall in a copy room, and she's walking by and I'm making copies.
You making copies.
So and she literally came in, like put her hand over, like over in front, and this was, trying to get stuff like, yo, what the
breaking up a little bit, man.
I mean, did she grab you like this, or did she grab you like this?
No, the other time in that other room, she did.
Grab you like this.
She didn't do that, but she was touching me, and I'm like, yo, keep your hands to yourself.
Okay.
So it I mean, even verbal stuff, man. Like
mammogram time.
Yeah, emails, stuff like that. She called my desk phone. She'll go to a little out of office, call me from the desk phone, sit like that. Like, come on, man.
But she's not higher ranked than you, though, right? Well, she wasn't above you, like she wasn't a manager or nothing.
No, she was a paralegal.
Okay, so she was right on the same level as you.
I was a manager.
So was she above or lower you when it comes to rank?
I don't look at it like that.
Because
she didn't have anything to do with me or my department. She didn't have anything to do with my department. Put it that way. It's two separate entities.
Okay, so yeah, like I mean, you just gotta check them type of people.
Yeah, I tried.
It's different when they're like a manager.
It made her more aggressive by checking her.
Right. Because at the end of the day, Martin was pretty much making a pass at a lower level. That's his show. It's his contract. He's executive producer. So, you know, by him putting his tongue in Gene's mouth, that's 10 times worse than if it was like Tommy or Cole.
Allegedly. Gotta remember saying allegedly.
He ain't listen. He still ain't beat the charge. He know what he did, and at the end of the day, he
settled. Nobody lost or won.
Exactly. What did I tell you? When they settle, that mean they settle. And at the end of the day, he said he was on stuff. You know, he's a good comedian. He's a good actor. He's a human. You know, let's not judge him. Maybe they came together and just said, "Listen, I forgive you." They was both single. And to be honest, if they were both single when all this was going on, they probably would have some more seasons. It probably was the husband that was with. It was the husband. That husband was like, look, this is a money cash cow. He putting his tongue in your mouth. We finna get paid. Let me tell you, that's probably what he was saying. And the whole time he was dirty because I already listened to the whole thing about him and Lisa Ray's husband. Mm-hmm. You see how they got together like best friends and was running their little stuff. So that's what I'm saying. Like he's trying to come up. He was trying to come up. So he probably pressured her to say, if this nigga keep doing this stuff.
So it's Dwayne Martin's fault. So that's who we should be coming for.
Exactly.
You ruined the show.
Because honestly,
Alexa just said it. You ruined it.
Honestly, she probably would have let it go, or they at least could have settled out of court. The show would have never stopped.
It never even got to court.
He probably could have gave her a little check, like, boom, and I'll never do it again. Which, in my opinion, that's what you should do with a big show like Martin, because we're talking about big money now. So yeah, cut the check and never do it again and keep the show rolling.
But there's
If
some
I was the
people,
executive producer, that's the kind of deal I would have made.
but there are some types of people that are not gonna take no for an answer because I'm ML. I'm Martin Lawrence. You know what I mean? I get what I want. I'm in L, baby.
No, trust me. When it comes to the money, you got 1,000 chicks, and let's just keep it real, that look 1,000 times better than Gina. You're not gonna touch her if it messes with your money.
But yeah, man.
I think he actually liked her though. I mean, we look. I don't think it was just a sexual thing. I think he actually did like her. I think they were maybe an item, and then
I just think that she shared her cookies, and he liked the cookies.
I think he shared his cookies, and she realized that I can't have your cookies to myself.
Well, so she should have sacrificed her cookies for the good of the show for 3 more years.
He should have sacrificed his cookies for the good of the show.
Somebody sacrifice some cookies. I don't care. Just keep the show rolling.
I'm the only woman on here, so I got to hold it down. And I'm telling you right now that everybody always expects the woman to be the one to say, "Oh, let me black everything out and focus on you." No, it don't work like that.
It do.
No, it do when it do.
Been doing it for decades.
It do when it do, and it don't when it. Well, guess what? Lately, it don't.
Well, but she was able to black it out on that reunion show.
But I bet you she got a blackout check too. I bet you that check blacked out the bank when she cashed it.
You tell me that settlement check won't going to be worth more than continuing doing the show.
The show is still a legend. The show is still a legend.
And it could be more legendary if it had 3 more seasons.
If anything, it marred.
You stuck on that, ain't you?
No, it marred. It marred the whole show.
If anything, it marred him. He went to the crazy hospital. He had a nervous breakdown.
That was years after that, though.
Snapped, but I'm just saying, but it don't matter.
He still had a successful career after that.
But I'm saying it takes years for that stuff to snap. But all I'm saying is, you know what?
Yeah, he probably snapped from having a false allegation and ruining the show.
Yeah, I don't know if it's false.
Because he would have been coming hard if it was false.
He did come hard. He wouldn't have gone for it. He still maintains his innocence. He
maintains his innocence because he's trying to maintain his check. But he knows what he did.
He's trying to. He was doing PR for himself.
So she's okay with forgiving him. Then keep the show going. If it was no problem, then do it back then.
She's not gonna keep the show going with a husband that's saying if this dude keep putting his tongue in your mouth, he's gonna fucking pay you. No.
Would
you do that with your wife?
He's like, or
first of all,
he said, I'm gonna go up there and put hands.
My wife would not be. My wife was on Martin. Yes, we're gonna keep this show going. This is Martin.
Here we go. See, that's the word. Here's where the lies come in. Here where the lies.
Talking about what's happening? Then no, we're not doing that.
No. Here where the lies come in. Now, if it was your wife, okay.
Martin, yes.
Sit there and just be like letting it go by because at the end of the day, for one, it's illegal, and you know that you got them by the balls. You're not gonna let your wife go through that.
If we talking about any show on UPN, then yes. But we talking about Martin here. We got to make sacrifices.
Martin here.
All right. Okay. So, all right. You talking about Martin? What did that tell me? That tells me that if the show pays enough, then you're gonna do enough.
I ain't worried about the pay. We keep going to the pay. We talking about lives here. We talking about my favorite show of all time. We ain't talking about just any show. We ain't talking about the Steve Harvey show. We talking about Martin here. There's some things you just gonna have to go through, baby. Keep the show going. Do it for the culture. Don't do it for me.
That's what her husband was thinking.
No, he won't.
He was thinking about dollar signs, and that's why right now today, they thinking about dollar signs.
I think he would have made more money if they kept the show going.
He was trying to protect his booby. He was trying to stand up for his booby.
That's possible.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because I'm telling you, I'd have rolled up on the set.
Yeah, I understand from that point of view. I mean, I think maybe he was just protecting her as his husband. I don't think it could be a chick thing. But let's just say if it was just him being a husband, yeah, you don't want another man shoving his tongue down your wife's throat.
And I know he probably did a little bit more than that. He probably smacked on his butt.
He didn't even probably have to do all that, Alexa. I'm talking about the 5th season.
He was kissing her on the neck.
Just to know the fact that he liked her and knowing that he had to continue to act as a husband on the show and wife and just regular kissing, that could have bothered him. You know, just knowing that he had a fast with her.
I had a fake kissing scene. I'm gonna tell you from experience. I had a fake kissing scene with a person. Do you know the person I was dating at that time made a point to go find that movie and watch it? Even though this is like from a film student, okay?
Mm-hmm.
So I was in a film for a film student. Now they got some real shit out. You know, that's why I said I'm not name dropping. But I'm just saying in the beginning, they were just a film student. And I was in one of the films and I played a girl. And I played the girl who was like the real girlfriend.
Okay.
And so it was a quick little scene, mostly shot from a side. I mean, it was shot from a side to where it wasn't no like real exchange. Okay. When I'm telling you, the person I was with was so adamant about like, I gotta go see this shit, you know? And me the whole time, I'm like, no, I don't know where it is. I don't know where you can find it. I don't know where you can see it. You went and found it yourself. You went and found it yourself to go watch it. So I'm telling you right now, like, if you're in a real relationship, especially over some years, that person is going to be invested into that. And it's like, if they're not into the acting world and they don't realize like this is nothing but acting, and you know, like they have to know it, or if they just can't accept the fact that this is some of the scenes you're going to do, it's a dead end situation. And I know for a fact that it was not comfortable because you had to go and find the movie. You had to go watch it, and now you saw it.
Matter of fact, my significant other is strong. Because like I said, I've been in music videos. I've been in different videos. I've been in small indie movies online, different stuff like that. And she trusts me and knows I'm not going so far as to do X, Y, and Z. But there'll be scenes in there where, you know, if you had to kiss or you hug or, you know, you are, acting out an intimate scene or something like that, or segments of it. It's acting. It's that's what it is. So,
but this is why people stick to their own people.
Mm-hmm.
This is why musicians stick to musicians. This is why actors stick to actors, or somebody in that field. Is because at least they know. Even if they're not with another actor, they might be with a producer, or they might be with somebody in sound, or they might be with somebody in editing. Even if you're not a musician, you might be with somebody who's an engineer, music engineer, because at least they understand what actually goes on. It's their job. When you're with a regular person, and I don't want to say regular is a down thing, but I'm just saying if you're with somebody out of the entertainment atmosphere, they're not going to have no understanding for that shit. They're going to look at it like, all I see is my chick.
That ain't no acting. That's for real.
All up under another new, they're not going to understand that shit.
You ain't had to go that extra with it. That wasn't in the script.
Not even understanding that, like, how hard it was for you to do it. So, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to share something with y'all.
I'm in your own entertainment industry. If you're not, it's not going to work.
So I'm gonna send y'all some stuff in the group chat so y'all can look it up and see what I'm talking about.
Oh, damn it, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm definitely doing that.
Let's switch up. Let's go to the last story for Leave It Unmedicated. It's this story about someone trying to be set up to mess around on their relationship. See how that went.
It's like respectful in a relationship.
Trusting the person and not paying somebody to see if they would cheat.
But it happened.
Not true.
You went on a date with this girl.
It wasn't a date.
She literally told me that you took her out to eat.
No.
Yeah, and you guys hooked up. You can't sit here and deny that.
I am denying because it's not true.
Okay. Sure.
She's a client, and after we were working out, we got food, which was across the street.
That's
where
not
we
what
walked.
she told me.
That's what I'm telling you.
She told me you guys had...
I'm telling you we didn't.
So are you saying she's lying?
I'm saying she's lying.
Let's find out from her. Paula, can you tell him what you told me?
So I pretty much told her that he took me to this really fancy restaurant, and afterwards we went back to my place and hooked up.
And that he came on to you in the car and you guys are kissing.
Yes.
Yeah, see?
Why would you sit here and lie?
I lied because...
So you weren't telling the truth?
I didn't think that she deserved you, so I lied.
Oh my God.
Clearly, she doesn't value the faithful, amazing man that you are. I thought, you know, maybe I have a chance because...
So you thought you had a chance with him, so you're trying to home wreck us so that you can be with him?
Wow.
Thanks. You lied to my face.
And what have I been saying?
All right, well, I'm sorry for doing that and making it go that far instead of talking to you about it.
Well, look at here.
Look at here. Woo-wee.
All right. Alexa, did you go away real quick?
Yeah, she'll be back in a minute, I think.
Okay. Okay. So might do a little something different on this one. This is a leave it or medicated.
Okay.
With this, would you first let me ask you, do you think anything is wrong with either one of their actions before I give you the leave it or medicated? The two girls. If you say both or one, just let me know, and then I'll tell you what the leave it or medicated is.
I'm going to say the one is wrong. The one who made the allegation is wrong.
Okay. So you're going to medicate the girlfriend, is what you're saying.
I'm going to medicate the two chicks.
Okay, you can medicate them both.
Okay.
Go ahead and tell us why you want to medicate both.
Okay, the reason why I want to medicate both is for one, the girlfriend, for instance. Now, I get her perspective, but if this is a one-time thing and he didn't do something, I'm gonna let it go. But if something else comes up, now you developing a pattern. You know what I'm saying? But the girl who made the allegation, that was wrong. It was messed up. I have female friends and things of that nature, but ain't none of them ever came forward and made any allegations or told somebody something that I did or did not do. You know what I'm saying? And they're more protective of my significant other than me. Somebody, if we're out, we hanging, and they be like, "Yo, he married. Shoo, go by." You know what I'm saying? So, it's just amazing how I don't even understand how. Not unless a guy told her something that made her understand or believe that she had an opportunity, a chance. But if she had an opportunity or chance, that's the thing that I'm talking about. But he said something, although he might not have had sex or anything like that or whatever that was, but not unless she just alleged that. But he in order for her to do that, he had to say something. How do you feel about that, Red?
I think, well, this is where we keep talking about. I know you and me kind of slightly disagree on that intuition. I mean, not to say it's not true in some, but some people who say they got the intuition is really just gas.
That's hilarious.
Lord, I had to step away. I'm sorry, y'all.
That's cool. We'll go to you on this one, Alexa. We did switch it up a little bit. The question for leave it or medicated, it's kind of just medicating on this one. Would you medicate both or one or the other on this situation?
I'm gonna medicate both.
Okay, tell us why.
The reason why, and I gotta say this, there ain't no way around it. It's because of personal experience. It's because of personal experience. And I will tell you that I have witnessed and caught women in bald-faced lies. Okay? Proven. So I know they lie sometimes. And I know you got some women that are bitter, they're home wreckers. But then again, a lot of times the guy give them a little something to work with. So it's like you giving them something to work with and they working it. And I can give you some actual situations, but then again, I'm trying to be a better person, and I'm not trying to dig up the past, but I'm telling you, I can give you some great real life scenarios when I actually caught 2 girls in bald-faced lies. This is while I was married. I don't know if y'all know this or not. I know y'all think I'm just, sexy Lexi out here living the best life. But at the end of the day, I was married once upon a time.
We believe.
And when I was married, I was very dedicated to my marriage. Because, at the end of the day, that's the father of my child. So, I was very dedicated to keeping my family together at that time. And I did encounter women telling bald-faced lies. So I know it happens. I'm not going to sit up here and just pretend like it happens. Some of y'all chicks, it's crazy.
Yes, they are.
For you to lie, like for you to make up a whole scenario, when you have been caught, I done been with somebody and been with the person. See, I don't want to get, I can't get sued, but I'm just saying, I don't want to, because I'm over a lot of things, I've been healed. So I don't want to bring it up. But I will say this. I have been with a person that was accused of doing certain things at the same time while somebody is playing games. And I'm like, me, I play chess. I don't play checkers. I'm 3 steps ahead of you. So, I'm sitting up here let me see what happened if I say this, if I say that. And I'm like, oh, this chick is lying. Because it's I just put his plate down. And you telling me he taking his drawers off. So somebody lying. Right. Somebody's lying.
He got a twin or a doppelganger.
I know who is lying, but I know it ain't me. Yeah, it ain't me. So, I've been in situations like that where it's and I'm sitting up here playing stupid, because, I got acting experience. So I know how to act mad and all this shit.
He astral projected over there.
Yeah, I'm just oh. So you mean, I'm up here pretending like I'm waiting for him to come home from his office. So you mean to tell me he didn't come straight home? Oh no, he over here. You telling me about some draws you seen while y'all was together. Okay, I do know the pattern of the draws, but them draws ain't there right now.
Oh.
So that type of shit. Because they'll use every clue they got, Yeah, he over here right now. He just took them. She talking about some drawers I know he didn't wear because I just washed the laundry. So I'm just thinking to myself, oh, you trying to get my head messed up, Yeah, and then finally at the end of the whole conversation, I take a screenshot with the with the time on it, and I'm like, busted, bitch. You lying.
I know what the pattern is. You're I know the pattern of the brown strip in his drawers. I know what it looks like.
This nigga's about to have dessert. You said he didn't wear them drawers today. Now, I'm not going to say that you never mess with him because y'all got a child together. But you sure was not messing with him tonight. So now I know you're a liar. Now I know you're a liar because you try to make it seem like he was over there when he's right here in his home. So, I know chicks lie.
Try. All right. I haven't gone yet. Let me go. Let me do my thing. So I'm going to say medicate them both, but I'm going to say medicate the girlfriend more. She pretty much, I can't almost be mad at the person up there trying to lie to the girlfriend to say he said what he said, because you just pushed a stake into into her hands pretty much, because you steadily accused him of doing something when he didn't do anything. When you continue to say you feel something is happening like this and you keep accusing somebody of this over and over and over again, if he didn't go to her, he's bound to go to somebody else eventually. If you keep making these accusations to say you did this and you did this and you did this, you're going to get your wish.
Yeah.
And I was about to say, fortunately, he didn't jump for the bait. She tried to, but he didn't jump on her. And so, yeah, old girl's wrong for lying like she did. I will agree with that. I'm talking about the girl that, that she set him up with or set him up on to try to go on a date with. But the girlfriend, you're pushing them towards him. What do you expect to happen if you keep doing that? You keep nagging him and saying, oh, I know you're doing this. I got this feeling in my stomach when it's just fizzled up soda in your stomach. There ain't no damn intuition. You just lying to your damn self. You trying to find a reason to say something's wrong with him because there's something wrong with you. You got some trauma in your past from a past boyfriend that did you wrong. And now you're portraying it on to this new person. And you're going to chase them away. And then you're going to talk about, well, there ain't no good men out there. Well, yeah, because you keep chasing them away because of mistake some other person made in your past. That's what I got to say about it. I think they're both wrong, but I say the girlfriend is more wrong for this. Let me ask you this, Chris. After this was done to you, would you forgive her and take her back? Oh, that's a long one.
Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Okay. Say that one more time.
Would you forgive her? After this is all done and it came out in the end that the other girl lied on him, she wanted just to be with him. Would you forgive the girlfriend? She's like, oh, okay, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to set this up against you. I'm sorry. Would you
know what? I would, because we all go through enough stuff with people. And if she was just responding and acting off, I mean, maybe her trauma, her experience, I get it. It happens. But if I prove that what I was saying was right, now you have to, you know what I mean? Like, that would probably be her only other opportunity to come with me at something else moving forward in the future. So things probably would go, well, I can't say it's going to go well, but I'm hoping that it'll go well. So she has another opportunity to get out of her feelings and not be insecure or whatever that is, and let's see what it do. But if it happens again, I'll probably end the relationship because I don't want to keep going through this, going through that same stuff.
I'll forgive her I'll forgive her if she can go back in time and get Martin and Gina to do the last season together correctly, how it's supposed to be done. Then I'll forgive her. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah.
All right. Let's leave this last one. Chris, let's see. Can you see? Chris, this is your moment on this this is not last story, but next last story.
Okay.
About the Jack Daniels story.
Yeah, man.
This is American history, by the way, guy. I don't like saying Black history because it's American history. I ain't separating none of it.
Right.
It's American history.
It's mystery history.
We ain't separating nothing. It's American history that just happens to have a Black man in it.
That's right. You're right about that. Yeah, you hit it right on the head. So basically, the story that I want to share with y'all this evening is about Mr. Nearest Green, who was the first African-American distiller. He pretty much ran and taught Jack Daniels how to go ahead and make that good whiskey that everybody been drinking and carrying on with for hundreds, like over 100 years right now. So the thing with that is, and what bothers me the most is that if the man produced it, taught you how to produce it or make it, he should have been getting paid the whole time. He should have been had a share into all this stuff that was being produced, which you did not for a long period of time. And a lot of, Jack Daniels and his people took credit for it, And I know back then, and it still happens to this day, people who don't have the money or don't know how and trust these people with their creation, they're going to go ahead and take it over. They're going to take it and run with it. And you just have to fight and prove later that, hey, this is my invention. Matter of fact, look what happened with the lady who created The Matrix. She presented the story in Hollywood.
I heard about it.
Yeah, they took that and ran with it. So she had to sue to get her rights, to get all that stuff back. But she's hella rich right now. So back to the story, Nearest Green, he was the master at that. He was a slave at a certain point in time. He was emancipated, he was hired on at the time to be a distiller, but that was actually his doing. That was his creation. So years later, his family also they took him to court because they wanted to. His family did not get any credit, his legacy, his lineage, or anything like that, up until recently, which they were given credit. He was actually given credit for actually being a distiller and this and that and the third, because they just put it in somebody else's name. But the beautiful thing is, Fawn Weaver, she's the founder and CEO of Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey. Amazing story. Okay. She founded Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey. Her and her husband they had bought some land down in Tennessee. So they bought some land that was very close or very near, but farmland that was very close or very near to this other distillery, the Jack Daniels distillery. So they bought that. They didn't know what they were going to do with it. But the more that she wanted to find out more about this man who, they were drinking, they were kind of into whiskey, drinking whiskey and things like that. But to bring about his legacy and bring the truth forward, she created Uncle Nearest 1856 brand of whiskey. It's just an amazing story that she wanted to honor his legacy as well in his name by putting her brand whiskey, which is like number one. It's won mad awards for best taste, and it's just a premium whiskey. It is off the chain. I enjoy it. I like it. But again, it's just the point that, I'm glad that it's something to celebrate. There's very few distilleries out there right now, whether that's vodka, rum, whiskey, bourbon, that are Black owned. So there's a few out there now that Black wineries and things of that nature. So, we're definitely stepping up and getting into the game. And I'm just glad that she actually done the research on this amazing story about this man, and just giving his credibility, for her brand. I created a whole brand around it. Mm-hmm. So that was really amazing to me, to find out that happened. And hats off to Fawn Weaver. But I was looking up, I was trying to figure out, I was like, what does fawn mean? So it was like a young deer, but it's also a hair color as well. Because I was like, fawn, like I didn't know anybody would name their child after a deer, but it could have been, unless she named her Bambi. You know what I mean? So I'm glad that she wasn't named Bambi, but Fawn, congratulations. CEO, Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey. Y'all go out and try that out. It's very good whiskey.
Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey.
Yes.
Named after Nathan Green. And
she changed the name too, because his name is actually spelled Nearis, like nearest.
Yeah.
She said nearest, which is cool. That's interesting name. Nearis, nearest.
Right.
I never heard that before.
Nathan Green. And he ended up being one of the rich back then, one of the richest guys, Black guys in Lynchburg, Tennessee.
Lynchburg, Tennessee.
It's a hell of a name too.
Yeah. I had to live in another county. I had to come back to work every day, but that's dangerous too.
Right. It's the name right there. It's scary.
Yes, very scary. Crazy.
I seen a documentary about that probably a couple years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I saw about that. I'm like, at least now they're coming into contact with giving him some credit. Not a lot of people know about it. Would have been great if he actually could have got the name to go along with the fame. But of course, then I don't know if he would have been able to own a distillery like that and make money off it. I know he learned of the practices back then, but I don't know if he could have owned a distillery like that and then make
right. Like he had to. It's something to be hired, but having again, Tulsa, Oklahoma, you have all these different places that they.
Oh, she got some.
They have busted down. They beat. Yay!
Had some.
That bottle was full 5 minutes ago.
No, it wasn't. No. I was gonna say is my grandmother's funeral. Me and my family, we went down to Mississippi, and we knew about the Uncle Nearest story, and it's hard to get. So when we got it, it was already people in line trying to get it. So when we got that, yeah.
Where at? Where did you go get it?
Mississippi. My dad's from Greenwood.
Okay.
Greenwood. So unfortunately my grandmother passed. Well, all right, let me clarify because it's so freaking weird. My stepdad raised me from the time I was 3. But I reconciled with my father when I was about 14, 15. Mm-hmm. So technically I have to clarify because I actually have a good relationship with both of them. I mean, a really good relationship with both of them, still to this day. So, anyways, like when I did get married, they actually both walked me down the aisle.
Oh, that's dope.
They got along great. The only person that nobody get along with is the unspoken. But anyway, long story short, when my grandmother on my technically my stepdad, but like I said, we don't call him my stepdad. That's my dad. He raised me since I was 3. So when my grandmother passed on his side in Mississippi, Greenwood. Yeah, Greenwood, Mississippi. Oh my goodness. I love the South. So anyways, when we went down there, it was like I got to see all my cousins and everything that I grew up with, or not grew up with, but knew about and seen at the family functions. And Uncle Nearest was like in the news and this and that. And so I was just like, let's get some, see what this shit is about. It actually tastes better. Mm-hmm. I don't know for who else watching this. It tastes fucking better. When I tell you this stuff was gone, and look what the date that's, 1856.
Mm-hmm.
9 years before the end of slavery. Which would explain why he couldn't own a distillery.
Yeah, because they wouldn't allow him to be the face of anything at that time anyway. But I'm glad that he was able to work and keep doing what he had to do. It's just that I just don't like how they take other people's ingenuity, their specialty, their craft, and basically run with it and use it for their own gain, and will leave you spanking.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna do it to us. If Edison did that to other people, Tesla, of course they're gonna do it to this guy here.
Yeah. My sister-in-law, her dad invented, what is it called? So the paving machines?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
He invented the one that goes backwards. They didn't have the one that goes backwards.
Mm-hmm.
They're still fighting for that today.
Wow.
Today, like they're still like in court. So this stuff goes on for years and years and years and years. Like you have to actually like file stuff. You come up with a good idea, file it.
Yeah.
Patent.
How is he fighting for that? Like, what is the paperwork?
Well, he's long gone and dead. But I'm just saying his family is fighting for it because it's like he invented it.
Mm-hmm. What evidence? Like, is he showing like pictures of the patent he had before?
To have a case because the case is definitely open. So but we've invented a lot of things, and I'm not trying to get up here and be like everybody claim everything. But I'm saying if you have a valid claim, you have to realize that we come from a time where we were not even allowed to own land.
Couldn't read.
Okay, yet alone ideas, yet alone patents.
Yeah, how can you make a patent if you ain't supposed to read?
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. When we were doing things that, because it's like, what can you do when you don't even know the language? You have to learn the language. So now that you're here for a generation or two, and now you learn the language, and now you realize what the problem is, in this different country. Now you're in a totally different country, and you're like, oh, this is your problem? Now you know the language. Now you can say, okay, well, over here, we did this, that, and the other. You could not do that before because you didn't even know how to talk. You didn't even know how to talk. All you knew was a whip on the back and get to the field and do this and that. Nobody even dug into your knowledge. And so many slaves actually elevated to what you call indentured slaves, which is my family's story. And I can tell you right now, man, it's crazy. But yeah, it's crazy. Way better than Roots. Way better than Roots. But anyways, my family had came up with so much crazy stuff. So anyways, like you get through this point where now you can talk. Now you can communicate. Now you can say, okay, now I know how to say this for that, Now you can't get no credit for it. Why? Because you're not allowed to own land. You're not allowed to own patents. You're not allowed to own property. You're not allowed to own nothing.
But nowadays, I'm glad, it took a long time, but, we do have our stake in the game. It's just that more of us need to get together to create or produce something that's going to be
where does the stake start, though, Chris? Where does the stake start? Because, see, the thing is, we're talking about the steak, but I think we need to go back to the cow. That's my problem. Let's go back to the cow. We can't start at the steak. Because, see, with my family, we can go back to the originals with some shit. Just like this damn Uncle Nearest bottle, we can go back to the originals with some shit with my family. And I'm not, and shit, let me sound selfish. Maybe I'm selfish, but I'm telling you right now, my family to this day has big ass lawsuits going on about shit like this. So I'm saying, let's not go back to the cow. I mean, let's not go back to the steak. Let's go back to the cow.
Hard to prove.
Go way back, because I seen my eldest ancestor's name literally on a cargo list, listed as cargo. Fucking cargo. I have the boat. I have the picture of the boat. My first ancestor listed as cargo. Now, yeah, I do have other ancestors, but that's besides the point. But I'm saying the patriarch of my family came as cargo. His son obviously rose above something because he married a white woman. But my point is this. It's right there in the dockets.
It's black and white. It's in black and white.
Right there in the dockets. That's right there in the fucking dockets. And I'm telling you, you have to fight. You got to fight.
So how do we prevent something like that from continuing?
We got more. Well, it's easy to fight it now. We got more rights, way more than we had for Ernest Green had back then. Of course, he couldn't really fight for himself because he wasn't considered a human at that time.
Again, I'm just happy and amazed that, I wish he got his flowers when he probably got little flowers when he was alive, but not as much as if he was in this era and he created it. You see what I'm saying?
He still got paid. No doubt, but he would have got a whole lot more. Yeah,
right.
he would have probably been
the richest.
Nine figures by that time span, or maybe even billionaire by that time span.
Yeah,
with inflation
on
that.
Yeah, he'd billionaire easy.
Generational wealth. He probably would have had that based off of that. So now he's got something going on with his name now. But just imagine though if he was able to start it back, when he started helping Jack Daniels out. Imagine how rich or wealthy his family would have been if he was able to patent it then, or he was able to create his own distillery then. But that is why the past is the past, and you gotta learn from it and not be doomed to repeat it. This is why we need to know the history, and this is why I'm glad you talked about the story, because a lot of people don't know about that story.
Yeah, look, I try to go and support a lot of our companies now, as opposed in the past. So, depending on what type of money I got in my pocket at the time, I might have to go a little lower some days, and some other days, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get that Nearest today, because it's not cheap. But they do know their worth.
How much is it?
It's not cheap, but
it's more than Jack Daniels.
Or 60. Yeah, it's more than Jack.
What was that bottle?
Huh?
How much was that bottle? Like Alexa had. How much was that?
It was like
it was probably maybe 60 with tax.
Yeah.
60 with tax. Okay.
Then again, we got it from because listen, like I said, my grandmother passed, so I stopped at a gas station type place. So it probably was marked up. So 9 times out of 10, it was probably like, I don't know, $10. Me just coming from the cocktail industry, it's probably marked up about $10. So I would say like $45.
Oh, that's not bad.
But I bet you the family got it right now cheap. If you were to Google it and say Uncle Nearest order delivery home, put them type of buzzwords in. I bet you're going to find a company that gives you the lowest price, because they're cutting all the middlemen out. Because obviously they're trying to get the money back in their family, as they should. And so they probably have some type of company set up at this point where you can order direct. And that's what I advise everybody to do. If you really want to support the real cause, find out how you can buy it directly from their family. Don't just go out and get it from, your nearest liquor store. Don't do that. But
Okay.
And it's one of the great things too about Fawn Weaver and her husband is that Keith, they're the co-founder and board members of Uncle Nearest Premium Whiskey, and they wanted to help set Green's descendants up for success as well. So, they got the Nearest Green Foundation, which they're donating money to. They got the Nearest Green Legacy scholarships that they also give out. When we support them, and that covers college tuition, stuff like that. So it's a lot of stuff that these people are doing, and I'm like, wow, one of these days I'm gonna have some paper, and I'm going to create a foundation that's going to be able to support, our young children and different things of that nature. But that's one of my goals to do.
You're gonna do it, Chris. Come on, man. You're gonna do it. But you know what? You bring me to another point, though. And I hate that. Man, I hate to piggyback off of you, but I got to say something real quick. Real quick. My family's from the country's fucking part of Texas you can ever think of. I mean, the country's really. You ain't never heard of no place called Nacogdoches, okay?
Nah.
Okay, exactly. So anyways, my family's from Nacogdoches. I want to say one thing about this. They have historical land sites there now that they're fighting for. Since we talking about all this, fighting for this, fighting for that, let me just throw this out there. My family has been there for years and years and years and years. And the sad thing is I haven't even been there. Let me keep it real. I've never been to Nacogdoches in my life. I haven't. Every time I came to Texas, I was stopping to go to an island. That's the only time I ever landed in Texas. But I will say this, I know about my family history, and I know for a fact that my family did a lot of good for Texas in that area. Okay. So anyways, long story short, Nacogdoches, Texas, one of the first colored schools. I do have to correct myself. Damn, I used to say colored, but I gotta say cooler. Colored is different from cooler. I hate to say it, but it's true. So cooler is like pretty much mulatto. They had the first colored school in Nacogdoches. And the reason why is because my great-great-great-grandfather brought a Native American bride, like literally brought her. Now, you Native Americans could get mad at me if you want to, but y'all know y'all fucking sell your daughters. Okay? So anyways, he brought a Native American bride
business
at a young age, and that's how my family came about. And he was Irish and Scottish. And he came over here. He's a shepherd man's son. She was passing for white, but she hated him. So she advised all of her daughters to disrespect him, which is marry black. Half of them listened, half of them didn't.
Yeah.
Obviously, my great grandmama listened. So that's why I'm black. Okay.
They're going against the system.
Exactly. But I'm saying we got a split side of the family. So we have a split that is very, very, very wealthy. They do the Black Angus farms. They got 5-star restaurants and all that. And then we got this side. And the thing is, this side ain't broke, but we just not like, whatever. You see what I'm saying? But the thing is, he went so crazy. He tried to burn down all his land. Like he tried to burn down his land, everything. Like he didn't realize he was coming to a racist country. Then he saw his grandkids looking blacker and blacker and blacker. And that's why he tried to burn everything down. Wow. But if you go to Nacogdoches right now, we got the first school, library, burial, everything. Matter of fact, if I drop dead tonight, I can get buried for free in Nacogdoches. Don't spend no money on me. Just send me back home. But long story short, this Scottish man brought a Native American bride who passed as white. And that's how my whole family started. My granddad that came from my great granddad who came from Haiti kidnapped my great grandma. That's why my family ended up in Portland. Because they were trying to kill him. Because they didn't want no black man with the daughter. Because she was passing. She passed for white. She had bright green eyes. All this. But then again, it's like, you hate your parents. What can you do to piss off your parents? Do the one thing they hate. There you go. Get the blackest man you can find. So anyway, long story short, I have all my family in Oregon because of that. But guess what? They're good business people. I can tell you right now, I have family with all kinds of businesses. Like I'm talking about all kinds of businesses. So I don't know. If y'all want to talk about some stories, let's talk about some stories.
So yeah, we're gonna do it all here.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Let's get on to the last main event of the tonight.
Ding, 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 ding.
We're talking about words and how words can affect people. Not that we have not done that before, but this is based off of recent act with, I think it's Chris's favorite artist of all time, Lizzo.
You go, girl. Drop it like it's hot.
You talking about words? I'm about to get something for you right now. Hold up. Go ahead.
Okay. Well, I'll say I'm about to play a song in a little bit, but it's from the song "Girls." If anybody's familiar with Lizzo, she is a representative of the big bone girl community, and I don't know if that is a proper word to call them, because she stands up proud and loud for them, and she's trying to make everybody find her beautiful. You know, beauty is in the eye of the beholder. You know, whatever they say. But she got in trouble recently because I don't even know if it's bad for me to even say it on YouTube now, because you know there are a lot of words we can say up here, and you know what words we can say, but I don't know how it's gotten away with, because it's supposed to be one of the nastiest words in the English dictionary. It begins with an N, but she said the word spaz, as you know, I'm going to spaz on somebody, I'm going to spaz out, you know, and I'm back in my head. I kind of know what the word meant, but I ain't go that deep into it.
Yeah, like,
you know, and plenty of people say stuff way worse than this. Actually, let me play the dang song, man. Forget it. I'm going to play the song, and I want you to tell me, is spaz the worst thing that she actually said in the song? Hopefully it plays. Let me see if it plays.
People always got something to say.
Hold my bag, bitch. Hold my bag. Do you see this shit? I'm a spaz. I'm about to knock somebody out. Go with my best friend. She the only one I know to talk me off the deep end. Cause that's my girl, we codependent. If she with it, then I'm with it. Yeah, we tussle, mind your business. So slew. That's my girl, we CEOs and dancing like a CEO.
I'm gonna play more, but so far, what do you think is the worst word in this whole song that you've heard so far? Half the song, quarter of the song, whatever.
She gonna beat somebody up?
Bitch!
we CEOs. Yeah. Not CEOs, CEOs. That's disparaging, I would think, but spaz. Let's continue. Let me see. Let me go a little further.
Girls from my girls at. Yeah, this the type of thing I'm.
Skip it.
Let me take these earrings off and hit the boosie ratchet with my friends. I'ma go Lorena Bobbitt on him so he never fuck again. Now you can't fuck again, bro.
Oh, wow.
That's my girl. We
right, but spaz. That's what I'm gonna go Lorena Bobbitt on him and make sure he does not fuck again.
Right.
Oh yeah, now he can't fuck again. So ain't this? I would think this would be disparaging to eunuchs that don't have a penis anymore. But somehow spaz was the word that she said. You know what? I recognize. Words can be disparaging to people, and this community has told me that spaz is hurtful toward them. So I'm just going, she changed the word out. That's the original song. She replaced it with something else. But she has just threatened violence throughout this song. She's called women bitches and hoes. Now, here's the thing. I don't have a problem if she feels like she could be better and change words that may be hurting people's feelings. I'm cool with that. If that's your journey, then that's fine. But don't be a hypocrite about it now, because you've done used nigga, bitch, CEO. You threatened to cut a man's penis off. How is that not bad? Spaz was the word. You were threatening violence. This is not just this song. I'm talking about throughout her whole career. You might as well throw away rap music completely, if that's the case.
For real.
Rock music. You can throw away rock music too. There's violence in there too. But spaz, that word, that's the word you went for. If you want to change it and you want to do Christian rock, fine. But don't sit there and be a hypocrite and talk about that's the word you're going to go for. You're not going to say anymore. That that's a small piece of the community in this world that has to actually go through things that make them spaz out for real, the medical term anyway. And it was from the UK, if I'm not mistaken, somewhere across the other world that was complaining about this. It wasn't nobody in the United States that was complaining about this. And she listened to them and said, I'm not going to say this word anymore because I'm offending them. Fine. That's fine. But don't you think the N word is way worse? Like, again, if you're going to use the word, fine. But don't be a hypocrite and say, I'm going to just stop using the word for this small community, and you have a bigger community that you're a part of, and you're going to continue to use that word. Or you're threatening violence against a man. You threaten to cut off his means of urinating and making children. That's fine. But spaz is the word you go for. What do you guys think about that? You think she's going a little bit too far? You think she's being a hypocrite? What do you think, Chris?
Look, whatever she do, that's her business. I don't think she's going too far compared to the music that's already out here. It's much worse. But I guess it's coming from her. Now that's a problem. All these other people done talked about a lot more worse than what she really saying. So,
yeah,
I have no idea what people are talking about. But sometimes people just want to have something to say because we're in this internet age now where you can complain and cancel culture. You can do all these different things. But these are artists. And artists going to do what they do, whether we like it or not. They didn't make it. Some of that stuff they made for themselves to make themselves feel better, or give her a part of her personality or how she really feel about some shit, you know. But other than that, I ain't got no problem with it. I don't listen to her stuff too much anyway. If it just come on the radio or something, I'm trapped, or I can turn the station. But yeah, I just feel. I mean, whatever floats her boat, go for it. People are still gonna buy it. They're gonna support her anyway. So my lyrics, I ain't changing nothing. That's my song. You feel what I'm saying? That's it.
It's such a small community though that's complaining about it. I mean, I know everybody's feelings count for something, but come on, man. I think that many people actually complain about that one word. You know,
it's stupid. Matter of fact, Red Alexa, I know a DJ named Spaz, so they're gonna be mad because his
gotta go.
You see what I'm saying?
Change his name to DJ Spaghetti or something like that. Can't be Spaz no more.
Y'all just let me know when it's my turn because I got a little shit to say. I try to condense it. I'm gonna condense it. All right, so I'm gonna condense it like this.
Go ahead, make it quick.
All right, I'm gonna make it real quick. All right, I'm trying to. All right, so let me make a long story short. Back in Washington State, where I'm from, which I'm most likely going back to, anyways. Born and raised, or not born, but I was born in Portland, raised in Washington. So I claim Washington because I've been there since I was 3. I know Washington culture. I know Washington everything. Okay. One thing about Washington is they raise them children's up. Okay. They raise them children's up. And I don't care if you got one dime, you will be in a program. And you will be in a program from a great. Now you do your own research and you figure out how many startups came from Washington. That's on you. So all I'm saying is this: I was surrounded by 1,000 programs. This is what I'm coming to. My parents decided to do a income, what do you call it? Respite center. That's what it's called. It's called a respite center. So a respite center for teens that have mental disabilities. So I didn't get to just go, work at McDonald's and work at Burger King and do this, like regular teenagers. I had to work with my family business.
Okay, you're getting to the point. I know.
I'm getting to the point. So long story short, getting to the point, I work with people who were actually mentally and physically disabled since the time I was 13. And I mean, as my first job, not my second, third, fourth, okay? You know? So I'm just letting y'all know. Okay, so what? No, I gotta lay it out. I'm sorry, Red. Let me lay it out because this is important. Okay, let me lay it out. So this is the thing. I could have worked here, could have worked there, whatever. I'll tell you one thing about the people that we work with. They don't give a fuck about no titles. I'm telling you right now, they don't give a fuck about no titles. They don't give a fuck about no expectations. You know what they care about? Do you care about them? Till this day, till this very day, there has been people that we had in our respite center, because I don't even like to call it that no more. Like the people that was there from the original like thing, we don't even call them like, man, that's like family, honestly. Because the ones that was there from the beginning to the end, that's like family. My mom opened a teen respite center. So this is for mentally ill, challenged kids, right? That could not get placed anywhere. And when I say couldn't get placed, that means they have basically been kicked out everywhere.
Wow.
A lot of times it was because they were urban. I'm going to keep it real. Because they were urban. It could have been their zip code and it could have been their skin code. I don't know.
All right.
But a lot of people that we got, it was because of that. Those people that we had stayed with us from day one to day closing. So that said, I'm telling you right now, they don't give a damn about no words. So when you say this word is offensive, that word is offensive, please. That was like our cousins. I mean, we literally grew up with them. We grew up with them. So it's like we knew that they was going to do some crazy shit. You know, like we knew it. But they was part of the family. They was part of the family. So you can't sit up there and say that this is wrong to say, because as a matter of fact, one of the moms used to say this shit all the time. And she corrected me. She said, no.
Say what?
She said retarded.
Oh, okay. I'll just say that.
I used to say mentally ill to her.
Okay.
Matter of fact, her name was Kay. She was one of our first like mother residents. And as a matter of fact, her son grew up with us.
Well, see,
you know, her son grew up with us. My brothers helped him get ready for prom.
Those words, like you just replace one word with another. So you go from saying the R word to mentally ill. If you still put that on someone who's not mentally ill, wouldn't that still be disparaging though?
Well, if they're not mentally ill, yes.
Yeah. So why change it?
She corrected us and said, no, he's retarded. She said that.
But that's my point though. When you replace one word with another, but it still means the same thing, basically. Really, what are you doing? You know, it's like when
it's still saying the same thing.
Right. It's like when the news media replace the N-word and just say thug. We know what they're talking about. It means the same thing. They just replaced it with something else. Maybe it's not as harsh as that one, but it still means the same thing. If you call someone special, you think they're going to, well, there's two specials, but
it's like you're a little bit special.
Right. But there's another special. If you call somebody, that could be a disparaging remark. It still means the same thing.
No. See, this is what y'all understand. There is a difference between okay, so there's a classification for retarded. And then there's other like they have like 5 different ones. So there's different classifications. So she was trying to tell me, because I thought that I was being offensive by saying the word retarded. I mean, she corrected me, and this is her son. She corrected me. She said, "No, he's retarded." And I was thinking to myself, like, I don't want to say that. But she told me he's retarded. She told me that. And so basically, she was so skinny. And when she gave birth, she crushed his skull. That made him retarded.
Oh,
so she wanted to be skinny.
Dark.
Yeah, she wanted to be skinny her whole pregnancy. She didn't want to gain weight. She didn't want to gain no weight. And at the end of the day, when she gave birth, obviously it wasn't enough room. And so giving birth, that's what made him retarded. And she said that's what made him retarded.
I don't know. I guess I'm okay if you switch a word with something that doesn't have a connection to certain things. I'm okay with it. But if it means basically the same thing, then what's the point? Like let's give an example. And even I caught myself this year just having a conversation about it. I was like, dang, that's really a messed up word. Why did I keep saying it? We know about the clothing wear, wife beaters, right? And I call it that casually, not even really connected the name to it. Like, I'm gonna go get me a wife beater. And I didn't really think about it. I'm like, dang, that's gotta be harsh to somebody to actually
beat their wife.
Like, you're talking about wearing something that I took last night. You're talking about that as a clothing wear. And you know where it came from, Chris? Like the origin?
To what I understand, that there was a group of people who, anytime that they were in some type of domestic dispute or whooping on something to somebody, that they had on that shirt, they had on that little tank tee.
Kind of.
Yeah.
It came from this gentleman. I probably shouldn't call him a gentleman, but a guy named James Hartford Jr., who happened to be Italian, who beat his wife to death. And when they showed him in the newspaper, he had that on. Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
Right. And from there, and Italians were already they were like second rate niggas pretty much.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Right. And so they attached that name to them also as being like third class citizens when that came out. And it used to have a different name. Before they called it a Dago tea and a Guinea tea, which were ethnic slurs for Italians.
Guineas, yeah.
Yeah.
They call them guineas.
It just progressed to wife beaters. Now, it still has the same meaning, a derogatory meaning to Italians. So if you're going to change it, just call it, what is it? What do you call them? Regular anyway. What do you call them without calling wife beaters?
It's pretty much, there's no other name.
Tank top.
Tank top. There you go.
But a tank top could be a thick thing.
The tank tops, I think they call them like tank tops. That's what I would call it.
Actually, to be honest with you, if you really want to be real, we don't have a name.
We do. If you go to Walmart, they got tank tops on.
Yeah, but I'm saying if you want to do the skinny one.
That's what I'm talking about.
They only call that wife beaters because it's a different. A tank top is like from here to here, and a wife beater is like a really skinny one.
Yeah, but you go buy it at a store, wife beater is not on the label.
It took over a shirt.
When you go to the store, wife beater ain't on the label though. It's just something that
they're never gonna.
I have continued to call it. I actually caught myself. I'm like, dang, that is a horrible name for a shirt. That's just like if they had a pair of pants that are a little too wide for people, and I called them slave beaters or something like that. That would sound horrible to call pants that all the time. And I imagine that's a horrible name to call a shirt. But my point is, as I was saying before, a Guinea tea and then going into a wife beater, it means the same thing. Basically, if it has an emotional attachment to it, like an ethnic slur to Italians. So if you're not going to change the attachment, then what's the point? Just like you were saying, retarded, whatever, the R word. And then you go to mentally ill. or special, it still means the same thing.
But when people have a perception, and
can't hear you, Chris.
It's really about the intent of how you say it. It's like you can use the word any way you want, but at some point in time, how it comes out of your mouth, the energy that's being used, the intent behind it. Because we might be having a conversation, say, "Oh, this is for talking this person special or special needs or whatever that is," and we really mean well by it because we're having a conversation, but they're trying to, our intent behind it is totally. But I think when people use it in derogatory terms, it bother people or whatever. It don't bother me one way or the other. But I'm just saying.
I mean, I could get it, though. I mean,
sometimes where the issue comes from.
Go ahead.
I'm done.
Okay. I was about to say, okay, I hear what you're saying. Mm-hmm. I do. And I understand what you're saying because spaz don't bother me. It may bother them, but it seems like a small amount. Okay, let's go with the Washington Redskins. The Washington Redskins have recently changed their name to the Washington Commanders.
Right.
And from what I've heard, I'm not Indian. I've seen statistics that say there was a small amount of the Native Americans that it bothered, but it was enough for them finally, I guess, after, 50 years of having that name, they finally changed it to the Commanders.
And the thing is, they didn't even, nobody, you could choose a name, but even when they developed or brought the football team into existence, it was a negative. They might have looked at it as, oh wow, it's for a football team, you're fighting to win. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But the history behind all that, they came out on the bad end of the stick. You know what I'm saying? And why would you use an Indian? Everybody has some type of animal, or something else. They could have used something else a long time ago. Just like the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't know if they have in a battle over a name or, there are several Indian names that are being used out here. This Florida State Seminoles and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And again, I guess it's just how they've been pooted on, over the years as far as them being negative and they dragged and all that type of stuff. It's so, I get it. Like sometimes you be like, look, don't exploit us and you ain't paying us nothing or giving us nothing for the name. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Don't use this other people for your purposes. And, I just feel like, privilege or not, these people have been doing this for so long, but I'm glad that they were able to fight back to get something to say, look, y'all gonna take us off of here. We tired of this.
Yeah. So I'm cool with the change. The only thing I got a beef with mostly with what she's doing is if you're going to change one thing, mm-hmm. you can't ignore everybody else then.
Right.
Exactly. You're calling women bitches.
Mm-hmm.
If you're cool with it, then you're cool with it. But you're going to change it for that thing, for spaz. You're threatening violence against men. That's domestic violence, basically. Yep. Because somebody may take that to heart. Somebody, not Lorraine Bobbitt, what is his name? Whatever the husband name was, Mr. Bobbitt, had his thing cut off. So he may listen to this song and might have flashbacks. PTSD. And the P stands for penis.
I know I would. Look, one time a chick kicked me and a chick punched me one time.
On your penis, did she?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
So, when people talk about stuff like that, it's traumatic for me.
Like she just went straight punching the baby maker.
Totally caught me off guard. That's the thing.
Where did it come from? Why?
She was mad. Again, we and I'm gonna say like a segment, like we talked about earlier in the show about the female, right? And somebody falsely accusing you of doing something. Because the girl thought that like her sister is a big girl. I don't like her. I never liked her sister, but her sister kept saying, "Oh, you know, he stopped by and you know, I broke him off and this and that." Go ahead with that. And to this day, when I go home, whatever like that, and I see them around, that's what they'll tease me about in the neighborhood. Like, yo, you hit such and such sister. Like, I did not hit. Yo, man, I didn't do anything. That was the cause of her being mad at me. You know, and hitting me like that. It totally caught me off guard. I wasn't even looking. She did one of them ones where you have your back to, you know, doing something. She did one of them. Oh, bro, yo, I wanted to choke her, dog. Seriously.
Man, you probably had a high pitched yell when she did that.
Yeah. Oh, that hurt.
Did a soprano.
So,
I'm trying to find. Listen, y'all, we talking about this shit. I was trying to find the damn certificate I found from my grandmother. Because the truth is, they're not gonna give you nothing unless you take it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And my grandma got a check every freaking month from her tribe. But guess what? I had to fight to get it.
Well, I mean, if you are, I think it's eighth, of course, blood.
More than the eighth, because honestly, it's on both sides.
No, but I'm just saying.
So it got to be more than the eighth. Yeah.
I need to go do to find out down the line if because I'm gonna see if I can get a retroactive if it comes out to be positive to what I think.
They're not gonna give. Let me tell you right now, they're not gonna give you retroactive. What they will do is they'll say, "Oh, you can come on the reservation, and you can go to school for free. And if you really need a job, you can work at a casino." That's all they're gonna give you. That's how they are. That's how they are. Because they're kind of looking at you still as like they're still looking at you as a half breed. If you want to be honest, they're gonna look at you. But you know what?
All they want. Give me something. Give me something.
Give me something. Give me some tax exempt. Because I ain't gonna lie, I got some cousins that got businesses, and they was like, "Shit, I'm happy with the tax exempt." I'm happy with the tax exempt. That's it. I ain't even trying to get on no damn reservation. I don't want no retroactive. I don't want no. I'm happy with the tax exempt. So.
Because all I'm gonna do is go and tell them that, like, just because I was like, you know, my bloodline is connected with yours, but you're gonna treat me different. Like the other man treat you, you gonna treat me the same way? Wow.
See, I didn't know that the black foot and the black feet is different. So black foot is different from black feet, and then you got Chippewa, and so that's how like I started doing all my research, and I'm like, oh, okay. So now I see why everything happened the way it happened. But honestly, in Texas, if you pass as black, you pass as black. If you pass as white, they don't care about no Native American stuff. They just look at the way you look.
Let's get back on topic, y'all.
Cool. But that's still ignorant.
Well, all right. Well, I'm gonna read y'all these things, guys. Maybe you use these phrases in your life, but there's some history behind some of these words that I didn't know about all these. Have you ever said you were about to reach your tipping point?
Yes.
Yeah, that is okay. I was about to say, nah, I don't think I've quite used that. That just sounds like somebody else. I'm about to reach my tipping point.
Yeah, it sounds like about to shoot up the office.
Yeah, right. So the history behind this, let's see, when you've reached your tipping point, let's see. The phrase was used in the 50s and 60s to reference the tendency for white families to move out of a neighborhood once they had been taken over by an African-American majority.
Wow. So they reached the tipping point.
Right. Never heard that before. I was like, okay, that's new for me. Let's see.
That's interesting.
Maybe you've heard that. I'm sure I might have said this one before. referencing, don't drink the Kool-Aid now. You know, we're saying that when we like, you know, don't get food now. Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I
Jim Jones.
What's that?
That's from Jim Jones, right?
Hey, good job. Very good, Alexa. That did come.
You know why I know that?
Why is that? You were involved in the Jim Jones church?
No, do you really want to know?
Nah, go ahead. Don't make it long.
Okay. So I'm gonna make this as quick as possible. But anyways,
2 seconds.
My brothers and sisters.
Oh no.
We met a young pastor right when he started his pastorship, right?
A cultiship?
No, it actually is a good church, a pastorship.
I'm just messing.
Okay, so anyways, my oldest brother, second to the oldest brother, went there first, the first week. And then the rest of my brothers went there the next week. Then after that, my family went there. Long story short, we actually started this church off. Okay, so we started this church off, and we were in the lobby for like 6 months of a community center, right? And this was a young pastor. Now, we were so little, we didn't know who's young, who's not, right? So anyways, this is a very young pastor, not knowing what the hell he was doing. Our family was like the consistent family for like 3 months. Then more community people, more community people came. Long story short, the church got really big, and guess what happened? He became like our big brother. My mom actually introduced him to his wife that he's married to this day. They got like 3 kids that just graduated. So long story short, like that was our big brother. All I gotta say is, I'm sorry, what was the question? I'm so sorry, because I know it's coming back to it. That's what I was talking about. I know it's coming back to it.
Jim Jones, Kool-Aid.
Oh yeah, Jim Jones. Okay, so my mom was his big sister, and he was like our big brother. So anytime my mom and dad went out of town, he would watch us. He would take us crabbing, fishing, hiking. Like that was our big brother. Okay. So anyways.
Okay.
One time my grandmother called, and my grandmother. My grandmother's off the chain, and she's kind of mean sometimes. I love my grandmother, but anyway, she's kind of mean. The first time I heard the name Jim Jones is because she called to talk to us, but he answered because he was watching us. This is before the wife, before the kids, everything. So she was just like, who the hell is this? Answering the phone. And he's like, I'm Pastor Pana. That's the name, Pastor Pana. I'm Pastor Pana. And she's like, well, who are you? And he's like, I'm just watching the kids because their parents is out of town. Mind you, my mom and dad were doing so good financially, they fucking took vacations all the time. Long story short, my grandma gave him the blues. And she was like talking to him about everything possibly wrong. And I remember a name that came up, which was Jim Jones. And she said, oh yeah, a lot of pastors do a lot of good, just like Jim Jones. And she said that. And
I would have screamed.
No, well, he started laughing. And I'm thinking to myself, like, why is he laughing? Because, I know my grandma. My grandma go hard in the paint. And so she was like, yeah, they trust you, huh? Just like a lot of people trusted Jim Jones. And, this is a new pastor with a new church. That's kind of messed up. Why would you do that?
She just let them know all that glitter ain't gold.
And she was saying, don't drink the Kool-Aid, basically. Yeah.
Don't drink the Kool-Aid. I got my eyes on you.
And that's what she was saying. She was like, I got my eyes on you. And long story short.
Fair enough.
Long story short, he never let us live that shit down. He was like, your grandma always gonna remind me about Jim Jones.
I know that's right.
Me,
All right.
look,
We got another one.
he done started like 10 churches now. Kids is already in college. Everything.
He gonna need to send me a couple thousand real quick.
Exactly. My brothers
All right.
still call him
We
every
got
time
another
they do
phrase,
that.
guys.
Yeah,
Let's move
so,
on.
yeah.
We got you. Okay. We got another phrase here. Let's see if Alexa, Chris, let's see if you know what the meaning of this one is.
Mm-hmm.
Or the origin, rather.
All right.
Okay. I'm sure you've heard this nursery rhyme before as kids. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Catch the tiger by his toe.
Catch a tiger by a toe.
All right.
If he holler, let him go.
Let him go.
What is the origin behind that? What's the original rhyme? See if anybody knows.
It used to say catch a nigga by his toe.
There you go.
That's crazy.
There you go. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. There was an alternate version where you to catch a nigger by his toe. If he hollers, make him pay $20 every day. Of course, that was dealing with runaway slaves, and the nursery rhyme developed into that.
Or after they was free, and like if they hollered, they wanted to make them indentured. Because my great grandfather on my mother's side was an indentured slave. So there's a difference between, okay, you got slaves, then you got free slaves, then you got indentured slaves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so my great
That's
grandfather on my mother's side was an indentured.
It's gonna be a long story. I already can feel it.
No, it's not a story. I'm just saying, like, you gotta realize that, like they thought they could still control you because they have something over you, like because you don't got papers.
Right.
So that's indentured. Yeah, that's an indentured slave.
Damn, man, that's crazy. Man, leave
Because
people
they know
alone.
you free and you know you free, but they still got something over your head. So
Or pretend to have.
Yeah, they got something over your head. And so that's what happened to my great grandfather on my mother's side. That's why he had to actually kill his indentured slave owner just to get away.
I like that story.
No,
Django type.
No, you don't.
Django.
No, you don't. Trust me, you don't. Because it got real messy. But anyways,
next phrase. Now, I don't know if any of y'all use this one. No can do. Like, I need you to stay one more hour without me having to pay you. No can do.
No can do.
I need to get the last big meatball on the spaghetti. That's for your father. No can do. Ever used that phrase before?
I've used that in the past, but I don't know where it comes from.
Okay. What about you, Alexa? Any idea? You on mute.
Oh, my bad. I don't even say no can do. I say no ma'am, no turkey, no ham.
Wow. The hell? I'd walk away if you said that to me.
Jill Scott.
No
hey,
ma'am,
talking about food.
No ham.
No, long as you don't say, and I want to know the origin of this one. Cool beans.
Well, first of all, I say cool beans all the time. I'm from the West Coast.
The hell does that mean, though?
It just means cool beans.
It means
the hell does it mean, though? Who wants cool beans?
Yo, it means hunky dory.
I bet you there's some racist.
I'm from the Northwest, so that's what we say.
Like,
we say
it's good.
There's a lot of people out here that use it. A lot of people.
We still use it today.
I don't use it because I don't know what the hell it means.
I know somebody personally that still uses it.
State. So when you say cool beans, that's like, okay, I don't love it. I don't love it, but I like it.
I understand what they're trying to say, but why does cool beans have to do with that?
I think camping.
I don't.
Because they camp so much.
Oh,
and you know what? When you're camping, sometimes you got to eat cool beans.
That's
and
the best explanation I've heard so far.
No. Honestly, sometimes you can't get the fire started. Because listen, a lot of people camp in the Northwest, and sometimes you got to eat cool beans. It's not going to be heated. It's like, listen, I'm going to eat, but it's not going to be my best meal. But guess what? I accept it. Cool beans.
You had no seasoning in it.
That's the best explanation anyone's given. I don't think that's what hip hop came from, but that's the best one I've heard.
I think it is. Google it.
Anyone that I have, I've heard. All I've gotten is it just comes from up north or whatever, and like, oh, that's just what they say. And it doesn't give. That's the best explanation I've heard from you. No, everyone else I've asked, I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
Honestly, I think it means that, like, exactly. So, I mean, you Google it and you come back and check me. But honestly, I think it means it's going to be cold beans. It's cool beans. Like, we're going to survive. It's not the best thing, but we're going to survive. And, you know, I worked on cruise ships. I worked in resorts. You know, this is what we do, especially in the Northwest. You know?
We're going to survive.
Okay. Well, I left where I was about to originally say it was no can do. But then I went on a tangent talking about cool beans. Okay, but no can do. Saying this, the saying cropped up in the mid 1800s, a time when Westerners widely held a racist attitude towards the East as a way to mock simplified Chinese pidgin English. I guess I don't know what they were originally trying to say.
No.
I can't do that. I guess that's what they were trying to say, but they said no can do. Simple phrase.
Simple phrase.
Here's one right here that this one I was like, what? And I don't know, maybe Chris has said that, maybe Alexa has said that to a certain loved one. Fuzzy wuzzy.
Fuzzy
wuzzy. Fuzzy wuzzy. Come here, my fuzzy wuzzy. Right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is.
I ain't say that.
That's something that's gonna be offensive.
I ain't say it either. I ain't taking out.
Okay, let me read the description for that. Let's see. Fuzzy Berserk. Let's see. In the 1800s, British colonial soldiers referred to the people of an East African nomadic tribe as fuzzy wuzzies due to their dark skin and curly hair. The term was later picked up by other military groups to refer to the other indigenous populations in places like Papua New Guinea and Sudan. So that is supposed to be the origin of fuzzy wuzzy. You know, people have used it as a term of endearment for their loved ones.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I got a problem with that because look, on my 23andMe, I'm 12% Sudan, so I don't like that shit at all.
What? How much percent of you don't like it? Not the whole 100%.
I said 12.5.
12.5% of you hates that.
Yes. I'm my 23andMe. Okay, because they put in Sudan. That's probably why I got so many crazy tall ass there. You know, Sudan. That's where the crazy tall people come from. I got uncles and brothers and cousins that's like 7.1, 6.9, like crazy tall.
But I give all these things though. Again, taking it back to Lizzo. I don't have a problem with her bettering herself, I guess, not wanting to use certain words. But if you're going to do that, you're going to have to do that for a lot of other things you say. Because spaz is not the worst thing you've ever said. Mm-hmm. And those outfits are offensive to me. Some of those outfits have been offensive to me. The one she wore at the Lakers game, offensive.
Mm-hmm.
Why would you say it's offensive? Like, would you say that's offensive if she was in good
my
shape?
eyes? They're offensive to my eyes.
But I'm saying, if she was in perfect shape, cut up, would you say
yes? That? Yes. You want the truth?
Okay. I'm just asking because
there's a double standard.
I'm trying to hold you. I'm trying to save you from hate mail because you might get some hate mail.
I'm gonna get hate mail just because I got a beard. Because some people are gonna say I look like I'm gonna bomb a.
Listen, I'm trying to save you from some hate mail. So I just want you to clarify.
Right. We good.
So you don't care if it was a skinny girl or
double
not.
Standards exist.
So in this particular case, like you said, the double standard does exist. But the problem that I think I had with it, it's at a grown adult show, and people bring their kids there. That's something different. It's her show. Yeah. Even though she's performing, she was performing on family night.
She wasn't even performing. She was just there at the game.
But she was.
I would have been pissed if both whoever would have done that. I wouldn't want to see nobody come to a game that way.
Well, you know who kind of messed it up
Right.
for Lizzo? It was,
What?
to be honest with you, it was P. Diddy.
What in the world?
It
What's
was
the
P.
connection?
Diddy. It was P. Diddy because when he did that live, that gave her platform. When he allowed certain girls to twerk and then try to shut hers down, that was her platform.
I kind of vaguely remember that.
So from that, that's when she launched. Oh, you don't want to see a big girl dance, twerk. Oh, let me remind you, because he let like so-called in-shape girls twerk. But as soon as she did, he said, oh, this is a family thing. Nobody want to see all that. And so
Right.
I
do remember that.
That's what
I
gave her
vaguely remember that.
That's what gave her her platform.
Because that was the same thing
Yeah.
Blackston
Yeah,
and a couple of these other celebrities was doing online, and girls
That
come
gave
on
her
the live
platform.
stream and
That gave
they
her her
twerking.
big girl platform. Because to be honest with you, you're not the first person to do that.
At a Lakers game?
No, I'm just saying you're not the first full-figure woman to do that. Because at the end of the day, there are a lot of successful, beautiful women who are full-figure who have done it.
Mm-hmm.
She made herself a victim because of that.
That part.
She made herself a victim because she wanted to use that as a platform. But you have all these people behind you and before you.
Behind her, behind.
That have done their thing. So stop trying to act like the buck stops with you.
The butt stops with her.
You know, it's let's just keep it real. You're not the first. You're not the first thick chick to dance. You're not the first thick chick to sing. You're not the first thick chick to be a spokesperson. Like, sit down. You're not the first of the first of the first of the first. Now, I can commend you when you're being yourself, but what I can't do, I can't get behind you when you're trying to ride a wave.
Where's the wave?
That has already been waved. Okay, you're not the first person. Come on now.
It's that has been revoked.
Do what you're gonna do. Do what you're gonna do. You're a good musician. Leave it at that.
Yes.
You're good. You are a freaking what did she play? The flute?
Flute, yep.
Yeah, you play the flute. Like,
you can play the flute and twerk at the same time.
Stop trying to make it a thing about this. And so, you know, this is what I'm gonna respect about her, because it's like, you're such a good artist. Why are you putting focus on this?
Yes.
Why? You're a good artist.
Totally.
If anything, you're doing worse. You're not helping. You're making it worse, because now you're putting eyes on this.
Right. And at the same time, you can't say you don't want us to objectify you when that's the thing you want us to look at. When you have so much talent, if you're a great singer, you can play instruments, lead with that. Why are you leading with that? You don't ask us not to objectify you when you got a TED talk about the history of twerking and attaching it to black women, making it look like that's all black women are. Black women are so much more than their body parts.
Right. And if you really, really want to get down to twerking, go back to Africa.
Yeah,
it gets spiritual. Mm-hmm. But you know, we're not gonna go there.
She ain't using it for spiritual purposes, though. She used that to weaponize that for her own weapon, but she ain't using it. She tried to make it seem intelligent when she would go into the history of what's supposed to be twerking, but that ain't the reason why she's going to a Lakers game to do that. She ain't doing it for spiritual reasons. Like, come on, man. Don't try to hide behind that. I hate
and you can't be that happy, because why are you sitting up here fighting so hard?
Right, exactly.
You're not that happy. Now, let me tell you something. I got cousins who are thick and happy. Bitch.
And if you ain't
the same. Right. You ain't the same. Let me tell you something. Lizzo is on like this level. I got cousins on this level. Like, you're not the same as my cousins, okay? So that tells me you full of shit.
You know, but one of the things that we all have that I think they might at some point, it's just like I like the Cleveland Browns. When the Cleveland Browns lose, all the Browns lose. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? Like Dallas Cowboy fans, when they lose a game, boy, listen.
Let's not talk about them right
now. But if y'all win, oh goodness. So it's one of those things
going to
where
the Super Bowl.
There's this emotional attachment that comes with, and that's how she keeps her fans. People who have been victims or hurt, have been talked about, have been bullied, or whatever that is that she has that she can bring to the table and say, see, look at me. I'm a shining star. And it keeps that energy going. You know what I'm saying? So anytime, whether it's good press or negative press, it's still good for you because people are going to look at you. You're going to get streams. You're going to get people going to look at you. So for her, I don't know mentally, emotionally, if she is ready and prepared for that. But it's just what it is. It's a way of life. And sometimes, even if she's using it as a tactic, a weaponized or ploy, I don't think that she is as ready as she says that she is. That's how she talks sometimes about certain things about that. You know what I'm saying? So
I mean, look at the ancient queens. You got ancient queens that were thick as hell, sitting right on their damn throne, okay? Sitting on their throne happy. So what does that tell you? That tells you that it's not even about like where you are, it's your mind. It's your mind. And if you put yourself at a low position, that's how people don't look at you.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you something. It's been some times I felt pretty as hell. You know, I'm talking about not felt, but like got my hair, makeup, nails, everything done, new outfit. But I felt like shit.
Yeah,
when I went out, I had a shitty night. And there's been times where I had some straight up Chucks on, okay? You know, I'm from the West Coast, so I'm gonna keep it real. I had some straight Chucks on. I had some damn like high waters, half shirt, ponytail, 1,000 little scrunchies. That's how we did in the West Coast. 1,000 scrunchies to make sure my bun was straight. Crazy freaking sideburns. That's what we did in the 90s. Okay, I'm dating myself, but anyways, did all that, and felt like shit, but everybody hollered. You know what it was? The way I felt about myself. It's the way you feel about yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You can look like shit and everybody will love you. You can look like everything and everybody will hate you. It's how you feel about yourself, because people are going to reflect what you feel. They're not going to reflect what they feel. They're going to reflect what you already feel.
Let me post this for y'all then. Okay. When y'all were 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, I'm sure at some point someone called you some meany words, you know, that hurt your feelings and got you crying, and you went to mommy, daddy, or the biggest person you could go to and complain about it. Like, I don't know, somebody might call you a pansy, or they say you were weak or something like that, right? Then, as you got older, those same words still have the same meaning behind them, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't bother you anymore. Weak, pansy, whatever you can think about. Oh, I'm trying to think of a word that kids would call you. A clown. I don't know. Those same words don't bother you. What happened though? Did the word or the definition change behind the word? Or did your perspective from the word change? In other words, did you develop thicker skin because you're like, that word is so small. It doesn't really amount to anything to really hurt. Is it the word that really hurts people, or is it the way you think about the word?
It's really your perception of what that word is at the time that you're being called it. But as you get older, like you said, you really realize like, oh, that word ain't like that's nothing. I'm big. I'm better than that. That word it's insignificant, you know. And when you see yourself better, a lot of those things don't bother you, or you know, you get hit through the game. Like, oh, they just saying they hating, or they just saying that 'cause they're mad, or they want to be me, or they like me, or whatever that may be. But once your perception changes, your emotional response is not as strong. Your reaction response is not as strong as it would be when your when your emotions and everything is on your sleeves. So anything that touch your sleeve or your skin, it's going to burn or hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? But over a period of time, you know, you don't felt that it don't sting as much no more.
All right.
You'd be like, oh, I got that. I can handle that, and you just move through it.
So should it be that people should rely on more increasing their self-confidence and releasing that attachment to that strong emotion that you had as a child, which you eventually do because now that word doesn't bother you anymore? Should you rely on increasing self-confidence instead of trying to ask an entire world or a culture to not say a certain word? I mean, when you end up going to change it to another word that means exactly the same thing anyway, should you rely on building self-confidence instead? And I mean that when I say that, let me go into this because you always hear the argument for the N-word. The argument is, well, why do black people say it? And you usually say is, well, we've turned the definition around and we use it as a term of endearment. And we've taken the power it used to have. That's a lie. Because if you have another random white guy who you don't know, and don't have to be a random one, could be your friend too, call you that it don't matter if it got the A or the ER on it, if you still get mad, you haven't taken the power away from anything. You've still given it power. And what they're going to end up doing is changing the word to something else, a covert word. Like I said, thug. They used to use that a lot in the news. They probably changed it to something else now because we caught on to that. So should we not lower ourselves to, if someone were to call us that word and say, that is beneath me, that's actually not beneath me, that's beneath you to even use that word. I laugh at you for using that word to me, even though it is one of the ugliest words in the English dictionary. Should people, black people, build up our confidence to like laugh at it, to like, that's nothing if that's the best you got? Because I know who I am. I'm a king or I'm a queen. I laugh that word off.
I definitely agree with you with that. It's just the fact that when you know somebody is coming with that negative intent behind it, it's really it's about the word, but it's not about the word. It's just that you have somebody who's intentionally trying to hurt you or disrespect you.
Yeah.
And that's what that really stems from. Like, forget the word.
You know,
it's just that person's action towards you. And I think that's what keeps things stirred up. It's not the fact that the word got power, but that person's rudeness or disrespect is what people respond to a lot. Because I could care less about the word. But you felt confident enough to come out and tell, you know, if you felt confident enough to come out and say something like that, then you confident to get these hands, knees, feet, or whatever I got in my hand. Then you confident to get your ass whipped.
Well, I'm not going to say you're wrong in that. I'm not going to say you're wrong in how you react. But what I will say is, I think you give it more power by reacting to it that way. It's not them that has the power. It's you that has the power.
Right, I got you.
You know, just like when you forgive somebody, it's not for the other person, it's for you. Yeah. And if you hold on to a grudge, you've given them the power in that instance.
Right, I got you.
If you stay mad about a word, and it's just a word, then you're giving it more power than it shouldn't have. You've given them power. If you're mad at it, you've given that person, the white person who's using the N-word, you've given them power. You haven't taken anything. I understand the history behind it. I understand why people get mad. And I'm not even going to say I wouldn't react that way. But am I right, though, for reacting that way?
You are right. And there's a time that we need to go ahead and let it go, live your life. Shoot, I mean, there's people that don't like us that are in our own skin color that's going to be rude or be disrespectful about some things. And, you know, you know,
I totally get it. I'm not forgiving.
I know it's just weird how that happens.
Yeah,
but
I'm not saying somebody should call you that and you should respond. I'm not even saying that. I'm just trying to just get deeper into looking at how words do affect us and how they don't affect us sometimes.
Mm-hmm. But it's really, if you want to come down to it, it's our choice on how we want to respond and react to anything anybody says. They could say good morning. What?
Good morning. Good morning. What do you mean good morning?
What do you mean good morning? I ain't having a good morning. You know, so it's really how people want to respond towards something. Like you have a predisposition about it,
right?
And you know how you're going to respond to that. But and everything ain't really about that. And sometimes you might change your mind on it, depending on how you feel. You feel like dealing with it today, or you don't feel like being bothered with it today. So it's not as powerful. You're matter of fact, a lot of things affect us more when we're in a vulnerable place or a hurt place in our life. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
When we're more happy, or you know, we're just in a groove, we're in our space, things don't bother us like it would. Like you might come home and your dog or your kids or whatever, they might got stuff everywhere. But you had a bad day coming home, and that stuff is up. And when you left, the house was clean, like you like it. When you got home, stuff everywhere. Oh, you gonna light into them, whether it's verbally. Come in here and get this stuff up, or whatever that might be. I'll be conversating with your people, your kids, cat, dog, whatever. But it's a lot worse when you're in a hurt and vulnerable place or angry place. That your response is different.
Or you come home and you realize this is what I'm doing it for. Yeah, my kids is running amok. Their damn rooms is clean. I mean, or they're not clean. I don't know. But I'm just saying, you come home as a working man, right? You come home as a working man, you're the provider, right? You're the main one that's basically paying all the bills. And you come home, you see your kids like battling with each other. They fighting each other. They playing video games, you know, fighting over this, fighting over that. Is the room clean? I don't know. But you come and you see your family just in full bloom. Don't that do something for you as a man? I mean, I'm just asking.
Sure.
I mean,
I'm just asking as a woman, because I got to keep it real. When my dad came home, I ain't gonna lie, man. I ain't gonna lie. My dad came home sometimes, I could tell he had a hard motherfucking day sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
He had a hard day. I could tell it, especially in Washington. I mean, he came home sometimes and had to break freaking ice crystals off his damn jacket. Okay? So he had a hard day sometimes. But when he seen us just living life, I could see the life come back into him. You know what I'm saying? He's seen 5 kids he's raising. You got your 5 kids. Yeah, you got your 5 kids that's just happy. You know.
Give you life.
Yeah, they arguing, they fighting. Sometimes we good, sometimes we bad. Sometimes we being sneaky. I ain't gonna lie, we was sneaky as hell because we were not supposed to be playing video games like that. So sometimes we get caught. with the Nintendo, and he be like, man, I'm with my kids. And he come back from home, like, I mean, he come back from work, but when he come home, he's just like, this is why I'm doing this.
Mm-hmm.
Like to this day, matter of fact, like if I can screenshot you right now. He just got my text, like, or I just got his text because my Father's Day gift came a little bit late, but he got it.
Right.
And he know I send him a good Father's Day gift every year. You know why? Because he's a good father. I'm gonna keep it like that. I'm not gonna get into I can't get into specifics, but I'm gonna tell you this: my dad is gonna get a good Father's Day gift.
Good.
Every year,
good.
And he just texted me like, "I just got your gift."
Yeah, that's dope.
All right.
So,
all right, guys, we're gonna end it on that, guys. Good show tonight. Thanks everybody for joining in on Hostile Therapy and getting some, not because you want it, but because you need it, with Big Red, Chris Styles, and Alexa Page.
Yeah.
We'll see y'all next Thursday. See what we're gonna talk about.
Live in effect.
Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Peace.